This was my son about to, ah, man. Toxic shit for me was like Jimmy Cozier and shit. Sometimes I love her, sometimes I love her not. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Anyways, hey, we not on the YouTubes right now. It shit slap. Mine knows like men who are like practice massage noir instead of like misogynistic men. But yeah, man. Man, it was toxic, but I don't know. It's a little bit. I don't know. Ex rich something says red pill better. Red pill better than what? They definitely not better at spelling or formulating sentences. That's for sure. But what is red pill better? Come on up, brother. Oh, you already denied it here. We'll go on and mute you for the live. You can stick around though. Yeah, man. Here we are. Welcome. My first time doing this. Well, I guess red pill better at making things worse. They good and terrible. What Eddie said. Them boys good and terrible. Better at not getting no vagina. That's crazy. Yeah, this is going to be my first time doing this. Let's see how this goes. Mine knows men who practice massage noir. Just think misogyny. You will see. You will see what a mino is in a second. Just keep listening. Just keep watching. Oh, look, we got another one. Red pill Betty, he said. This dude said, Betty, red pill Betty. Or this the same dude? He came back on another page. That's crazy work. That's crazy work to leave and come back on another page. Wow. Hey, man, keep liking up the live. I appreciate it. Let's keep the live alive. Definitely support the live. Let's bang the cash out one time for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is, man. We gonna do this. We gonna get into this. I got a few clips. So this first clip, not too much. Yeah, my typos be crazy. What do you call someone that practices misandry? Nothing. What do you call a person that practices misandry? Oh, we got another one. Look at him. This is weird. You like the commentary on YouTube? I appreciate it, Chrissy. King Quentin, what's good, fam?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man.
Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, what do you mean by your question? What do you call somebody that practices misandry? They call them a misandrist.
Okay. Why can't you just call, guys who practice misogyny, misogynist or
Because
misogynoirs or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, you know what massage noir is.
But hold on, wait. Somebody said misandry isn't real. Is that true?
I don't think misandry is a real. Misandry is like reverse racism.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing?
So I don't know if we could. I don't know of anybody that's ever suffered from like that has suffered at the hands of misandry.
Yeah, man. I agree. Yeah. It's a foreign concept, the idea of women hating men. That doesn't happen at all. It's made up.
Well, misandrist wouldn't be a woman hating a man. It would be the hatred of a man.
People say, why are you whispering? I'm at work still. I'm just taking a break. But here's the problem. I feel like that is disingenuous.
You got your phone muffled a little bit, brother. You got something covering it.
1 second.
I can hear you now. It's better.
Yeah, I just feel like it's disingenuous. I feel like we all know that exists. And to suggest that it doesn't exist is just plain old delulu. Is that how you call it, delulu?
Yeah, I think the delulu is thinking that if women actually hated men, that it would amount to anything. Like, it doesn't mean anything if a woman hates a man, first and foremost. Second of all, if women hate men, it wouldn't be justified. There's no justification for women hating men.
Talking about in general.
Yeah, just the same way.
What's the practical? I understand. What is the practical? What is that like when you say hating men in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't understand how that is ever appropriate when you don't know every other guy. You don't know every guy in the world, and to be prejudiced in that way is simply based off of what other men have done in the past. If you want to, go by that, hold on. If you want to go down that road, there are lots of reasons to hate all groups of people, irrespective of race, gender. Everyone has done bad things, nobody's without sin in this world, in the history of the world. So I don't understand why that kind of feeling is justified.
Yeah, like I said, so I think the problem with your flawed logic is that you are there are actual systems of oppression, right? That work. That's not like you doing something bad to a person, or you just not liking a person, or you being bigoted, or whatever the case may be. It's an actual system of oppression that has been long standing throughout humanity for thousands of years at this point, right? And women see, like, basically, and I made this joke, but it's not really much of a joke. I've done lives on this. All of your problems can be traced back to a man. Like, all of your, like, real, like, if you really think about any of your serious issues, it could be traced back to a man or a group of men. I guarantee you. You can. There's almost nothing you could think of in your life where it would be like money traced back to a man. What else you want to talk about? Healthcare. You want to talk about anything that hold on, brother. Anything that is on a systemic level would be traced back to a man, right? So whatever you would be talking about at worst would be something interpersonal, like some girl like breaking your heart in the 8th grade or something like that, which is whatever.
No, actually,
if that makes you dislike all women, then that's on you. But women are talking about. Hold on, brother King. I'll let you finish. Can I finish? Is that okay? So, can you not hear me, or what's going on?
I said by all means, go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think the disconnect is that men act like they always try to play this whataboutism, and as a black man, I try to equate it. I try to make it real easy for you. So it would be the same thing if black people or any black person you met, right? And I know a lot of black people, and I know some old country black folk that really came from like Jim Crow South, and they don't really mess with white tea people. Like, I'm just gonna put it like that. I ain't gonna say the H word, but it's pretty much the H word. Like, they just like, nope, I'm good, right? Would you blame them? Would you ever, like, if everything in their life can be traced back to a white tea person doing something negative to them for the most part, would you blame a black person for ever feeling like that about white tea people?
Look, the sentiment.
No. Answer my question. Answer my question, King.
No, I wouldn't. But
okay.
Here's the problem.
So okay, wait. So let's take it step by step. So if you wouldn't blame them, if you can understand that rationale, then why can't you understand women not or H? You
can understand the sentiment while acknowledging the fact that the prejudice itself is wrong. It's okay.
Why is it wrong?
It's okay to, not all of your feelings are justified prejudice, okay? You can have a negative feeling towards a group of people, but it doesn't necessarily justify the prejudice. The prejudice...
Why not?
Because feelings aren't rational, okay?
Yes, they are.
They're not always rational, okay?
They're not always rational, but feelings definitely can be rational.
Here's the thing. You can't blame a guy or a woman for disliking a group of people because they've had negative experiences with the group generally, but it's irrational to
he got a call.
Basically project onto every single one.
He got a call.
Hello?
Yeah. I was saying you got a call. Your mic cut out for a second. I was saying you got a call. Yeah, you definitely got a call because now it's an echo. Yeah, hit your airplane mode real quick. Hit your airplane mode real quick, like on and off, and it should bring you right back.
Yeah, can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah. Echo's gone. Yeah. Echo's gone. Go ahead.
Okay, got it. Yeah, what I'm saying is the irrational part is to conclude that, hey, you know what? They're all like this. You know, every single last one of them. That's irrational. You haven't met them all. So I know you don't like the way that sounds. Again, the
That's not,
feeling is,
but that's not what anybody says, though, brother. That's not what it
well,
is.
prejudice.
Have
That's
you
what
ever
that
seen that? Have you
prejudice
ever
means to
seen that video
prejudge.
of? Yeah, prejudice is prejudging. We all prejudge because it is a human.
All right, yeah,
It is a
okay.
human
When you say you
survival
hit on thing, that's
mechanism.
prejudice.
King, please. It is a human survival mechanism to prejudge people. It's
Uh huh.
honestly, you could say that it's not right, or I don't give a crap. It is literally baked into our DNA to prejudge people. That's how it works. Now, if you've ever seen that video of Muhammad Ali when he was saying there's 10,000 snakes and they're trying to come in the door, and you tell me that a thousand of them are good, so I should let all 10,000 snakes in, or should I just shut the door and block all the snakes out? Because it's literally like one. It's like one out of however many with men, where one of the men are safe for women, where one of the men aren't going to cause the women harm, where one of the men isn't trying to use the woman or steal her labor or use her body in some way, shape, or form. It's 1 out of 100, 1 out of 50. And you're saying, well, it's not all, but logically, right? Since I know you're a man, I know men think they're the logical thinkers. Logically, wouldn't you think that if the odds are, the closer that I come in contact with the man, the likelihood of violence or abuse goes up. The odds say that those numbers go up, right? That may happen. That's probably going to happen to me. The closer that I get to men, then wouldn't a logical take to that be, well, I just will avoid men altogether? That's not illogical. That's not crazy. That makes that mathematically that actually makes sense.
So let me ask you this. No, you can say Matt, and it doesn't make sense because you haven't even done a cost benefit analysis. You haven't. You
Let's
can
do it.
say
Let's do it
that.
right now. Let's do a cost
Now,
benefit
here's the
analysis.
thing.
Let's do it
You
right now.
can
No, no, no,
say,
no.
well, here's the thing.
Let's do it
Okay.
right now. What is the
Well, yeah.
benefit for women to be in
Can
close
I
proximity to
finish?
men?
Can I finish,
No,
please?
no, no, go. What is the
All
benefit
right.
for women to be in close
Okay.
proximity
First
to
of
men?
all, a lot of these same people that say they hate men, quote unquote, will be the first people that call the fire department, which is mostly men, when their house catches on fire. The police department, which is mostly men, when they feel as if they're in danger.
Yep.
You know, when they flush their poop down the toilet.
A plumber.
After they,
Okay, cool. So you
yeah.
said I love the first two.
But here's the
Okay.
problem, though. Here's the problem, though. I need everyone who say they genuinely hate men to stop relying on men altogether.
They
Like,
do.
literally.
They very rarely call men because the vast
That's a
majority of women don't say
lie.
they hate men. So
It's a
I love those
lie.
two examples. So
It's a
let's play
lie.
it out. Hold on, King. So let's play it out. First, you said a woman would call a fire department. They're mostly men. And they are. You're right. If their house is on fire, what is the largest group of arsons? Right, men or women? Who is most likely to be arsonists?
Arsonists.
Hold on, wait, no, King. Hold on, King.
Yeah.
Who is the group that is most likely to
Yeah,
burn down
men.
the house?
Men are more
Men.
likely
Okay,
to burn the
cool.
house.
So net negative automatically off the bat. Now
No.
you want to hold on, wait. That's a net.
You're going
Hold
too
on, hold
fast.
on, sir. Stop,
Okay.
stop. Now you said the police. You said when they feel unsafe. Who is most likely to make a
Men.
woman feel
Men.
unsafe? A man
Men.
or a woman? You
Men.
can't listen. You got to mumble while I'm talking. Do you have any emotional? Can you regulate your emotions at all?
I'm answering your question, men.
Okay, so men. So men are most likely to cause a fire, and men are most likely to make a woman feel unsafe. So that negates the fire department and the police department. That is a net negative, because if men didn't burn down shit, and if men didn't make women feel unsafe, then we probably wouldn't need a police department, and we probably wouldn't. I mean, I'm sorry, women wouldn't be needing to call the fire department as much, and women wouldn't need to call the police almost ever if men didn't make them feel unsafe, because we already know 98% of all violent crimes are committed by men, right? So we already know, like, so if men never committed another violent crime, the police wouldn't even exist. There would be no need for police for the most part. You see what I'm saying? So
No.
we just did your cross analysis benefit or whatever, right? And we just
You didn't allow me
determined
to
that
critique it.
you can critique it, but the men are a net negative. But go ahead, try to critique that.
All right, so first off, the percentage of fires that are a result of arson is 28%.
It's a lot.
All right, but it's still a substantial minority of fires, okay? So for the however many fires that aren't a result of arson, all right, it's a net positive in that situation when you call the fireman, excuse me, when you call the fireman and he shows up and he's an XY, that is a net positive because the man wasn't responsible for the fire and he's going to be the person who put it out. Am I right?
No,
Why not?
you're wrong because if once again, if we're going to get into the numbers, then we have like that's what I mean. It's just logically this is a terrible argument for you because do you know why the other 72% of fires start? Are they just by accident? Do women cause them? Or like, let's get into the accident or not. I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. Accident or not, who is more likely to start a fire at this point? Which I don't know. I'm just asking you though if you know, because then that's how the next step would work. Who is most likely to cause the fire?
Or by accident?
No, by accident, which AKA accidents are usually attributed to negligence. So who is most likely to cause a fire?
I don't know. You gotta look that up.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you start to really get into the numbers, I would almost guarantee you at the end of the day, men cause more fires than women. That's what I mean. At the end of the day,
Well, that's conjecture.
we already know the majority of men intentionally start fires. Like 90% of arsonists are men. The vast majority of arsonists are men. The vast majority of violent criminals are men. The vast majority of thieves are men. So where's the net positive for women? The vast majority of abusers are men. If you're a woman, who are you most likely to be harmed by? Some rando man on the street or the man in your house?
This is a different question than the one we set out to answer initially.
It's the same question.
We were talking about arson, and you went off of that topic because you knew. And here's another issue that's on the topic of arson. Okay, if you're talking about the fact that the majority of men are responsible, first of all, 15% of arson is women. That's 15%, substantial minority. Okay, so let's say a woman started the fire. Okay, that's a 15% chance to be the case. In the case that the woman started the fire, and a man comes to put out that fire, isn't a man a net positive in that situation?
No, because it wouldn't go. And that's what I'm saying. Even in your own situations, it doesn't matter because the overall point is men start more fires. So of course they're going to be the ones they should be tasked. They should be tasked with the responsibility of putting out fires. It's the same flawed logic when men talk about, well, we need the military. And I go, but what if men just stop fighting? And what if men stopped starting wars? Then we wouldn't need the military. So creating the need. So basically the way that men use this concept of protection is they use it in the same way that the mafia uses protection, right? The mafia goes to the local mom and pop spots and they go, hey, King, you own this shop? Well, it'd be crazy if somebody came in and burned it down. Wow, and they knock over a jar or something. Like, it'd be crazy if somebody came in here and messed it up, and then you get the idea and you go, okay, well, they'll be the ones that mess it up. And they go, yeah, you pay me every week. You never got to worry about that. We'll protect you. So men are protecting society from other men, which makes, you see what I mean? Like, so if this is why men are a net negative, this is why we can't be the protectors because we are the predators. We can't be both. And if you are one of those things, which is the predator, then the protector gets X'd out, right? It cancels out the protector part of it. That's what I'm saying. So there's no way around it. You can try to like argue this point by point, but it doesn't matter. Men are a net negative to women. Period.
Again, men aren't the only source of danger in society. All right.
I didn't say the only source.
Excuse me. And another problem with your logic is that you are assuming civilized society in each and every case. All right. That means that there are no wild animals running around. There's no bears out killing people or tigers, or I think.
When was the last time you saw a bear or a tiger?
Excuse me. That's what
excuse me. When was the last time you saw a bear or a tiger, King?
That's my point. You're assuming that all of these analogies that you're discussing, that men are the primary threat. That assumes
they are the primary threat.
That assumes civilization, because there are so many other threats that could exist if civilized society weren't the case today. Okay, so you have to ask, how did we get to civilized society in the first place?
We built it on the backs of women.
Question. and that will allow you to get to a more accurate answer.
Yeah, we stole women's labor and we built it on the backs of women.
That's how civilized society got here. So the building,
it's still functioning like that right now.
The infrastructure, all that, stole women's labor.
Yeah, that's what they do. They steal everything.
Go ahead.
The oligarchs steal everybody's labor. They stole black people's labor the same way that men stole women's labor.
Right now, let's focus on that dynamic. Let's stay on topic. So tell me how they stole women's labor to build civilized society.
They literally they stole women's labor. Women did the work. What do you mean? I don't understand. What are you not understanding? They did the labor.
Oh, so they built everything.
Sir, you don't know who built what. That's what the funniest thing is listening to men tell me that men built the world, right? The same way it's just like, right, once again, it's as if a white T person was to come up here and say white T men built the world. How would you feel about that?
Who are the majority of the construction workers today?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter.
That's not do you think that's the only way the world was built?
It is.
This is like talking to my son, bro.
Well,
that y'all mind always goes to hard labor, like that's the only way the world is. What are you talking about? Who taught look? Hold on, let's go back. Hold on, King. Hold on. Let's go back.
All over the place, man.
I'm not.
You're all over the place.
Sir, trust me.
You
King,
really are.
King, this will be posted. I promise you. You can watch this back and you can hear how stupid you sound. I swear, I do this all day long. I literally built my platform on talking to men like you. It's not me. Believe you me, you are not the first person to come up here and to try this argument against me, and you won't be the last, right? And I welcome the debate, but I'm just letting you know that you're not making sense. I promise you, you're not. Only in your mind. But if you listen, you can hear what I'm saying. If you stop getting in your feelings, you can hear what I'm saying, right? Don't listen to argue. Don't listen to respond. Listen to understand what I'm telling you right now.
Got it.
What I'm saying is, like, for an example, in America specifically, women were the first computers. You see what I'm saying? Like, they were the ones who did all the data and all that. They were the first, literally, women were the first computers. So when you say who built society, I look at stuff like that. I don't look at like who put the, why are you talking while I'm talking? How can you listen while you're talking? That's crazy.
I have a question.
So I know. Okay, go ahead. Ask your question, brother.
I was just, what year was that? Like, give me your source. Or is that
who
just
cares what year it was in, bro? It was in the 1900s.
Okay. All right, man. Do you
this
have
is
a
dumb. Like, as if, hold on. This is, hold on, wait. This is crazy when people who don't have sources themselves ask me to cite my sources as if I have to be a human computer and remember. I'm not, you don't know what that word means. I didn't make an assertion. I literally am telling you that women were the
first computers.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. You can't talk while I'm talking. You're too annoying. I'm sorry. You talk too much. You don't listen. And that's why the conversation's not going anywhere. I'm trying to help you understand that however you want to break this down, women did the labor. The men had to steal the women's labor so that they can do whatever they were doing. I don't know how else to tell you that. Who raised the kids? Who taught the children? Who became the architects? Who did the, you know what I'm saying? And also, and that's just the obvious part of it. The inconspicuous part of it is you don't know what women actually contributed to society because men have erased them. So you don't know what women built. But I do know, looking at society right now, I can tell you unequivocally that men steal women's labor every day in the modern day. So why would I think in the day and age when women have the most autonomy, right? That I can think of, in the day and age when women have the most autonomy, that all of a sudden men stop stealing their labor? What are you talking? I can see it every day. Who does all the clerical work? Who does all the like, even in the household, who does the paperwork? Who makes sure that all this gets signed and that gets signed and the documents get signed and the kids go to this thing and they go to that? Who does the logistic work? Like, who does that? So for you to sit here and say, oh, no, who put the building together? Because they told women you can't put the building together, which is funny to me. You can't even use that as an example because they blocked the women out. So you can't use that as an example. The same way a white T man couldn't tell me white T men built this country, right? Even though black people did. But I'm saying, if they said the industrialization of America, if they said, hey, white T men worked in all the factories, which they did. So does that mean they built the country? Does that mean that white men, that black men couldn't do the work? Does that mean that No. We were excluded from it. We were excluded from it. They still were still in our labor the whole time, but we were excluded from it. So it's not a one-to-one. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. And you can go look this up. You don't gotta sit here and argue with me and try to make stupid points. You can literally go look this up, bro. I'm not making it up. I haven't said anything that's not actually factually proven. The stuff you're saying doesn't make sense though, bro. Like what is your point at this point? Like what are you saying? I don't understand what are you trying to get across to me? First you started off by saying women hate men as if that's okay, cool, who cares? Because most women don't hate men. They don't.
I didn't say that most women hated men.
I know. I didn't say you did. I'm saying, what's the point in saying that women hate men when the vast majority of women don't hate men?
All right. So here's the public offender. All right. What you got to do is when you argue, you go all over the place. You got to stick to one point and let's talk about that and we can move on to the next one. So first, let's establish what an assertion is. Google the definition of what an assertion is, and we can talk about whether you made one, because you said you didn't. So we can start there.
I stated a fact. It wasn't an assertion.
Okay,
that's why I was saying you don't know what the word means.
Give me the definition.
The assertion is when it's an implication when you assert that this happened, but maybe it didn't happen, right? But when I said that women were the first computers, that's not an assertion. That's a fucking
here's
fact.
The definition of an assertion. It's a confident and forceful statement of fact or belief.
Or belief.
Did you not do that?
Yeah. So was mine the fact or was mine the belief?
Huh?
Was mine the fact or the belief? Because you weren't. If it was a fact, then why would you push?
The definition encompasses both. It doesn't matter.
Listen to what I'm saying, King. When you used it, and and here's where context clues matter.
Mm-hmm.
In which way were you using it? Was I stating a fact or was I stating a belief in your mind?
No, you're the person that made an assertion. I believe that it's a belief because there's no evidence to suggest that women.
And that's why I was saying it wasn't an assertion because it was an actual. You see what I'm saying? Well, you want to say fuck it. It was an assertion, but it was a factual one.
It's baseless. You don't have any way to objectively say.
That's what I was objecting to. Okay. I know. Okay. That's why I understand. I understood the context in which you were using
it's a belief,
That's why I was saying.
Like most things, okay, and that's not a problem.
It's not a belief. It was an actual fact, though.
Right,
you just don't know. And here's the thing. Go look at brother. The craziest thing is I haven't asked you to tell me any sources because I don't care about your sources.
The problem is when you make a point, you have to give a source.
I don't have to do that.
I don't have to look up the source if you make a point.
King, what source have you cited?
Webster.
In this whole conversation, what source have you cited?
The definition of assertion came from.
Hold on, wait, no, wait. What source have you cited in this whole conversation?
Webster.
You haven't. I haven't asked you for one, and you haven't never said Webster.
Well, Webster.
Because I never asked you for one.
What I just looked up for assertion was Webster.
Listen to what just happened.
And
don't
then
play this. Hold on.
The arson numbers came from the annual arson instance.
I didn't. But do you not understand that I didn't ask you for it? You just told me right now. I never asked you for it. I didn't give a fuck about it. That was my point. I don't care about sir.
Your name sounds a lot like public defender. You know what they have to do? For every assertion that they make, they have to proffer evidence. Otherwise, it's just conjecture. So how is that useful in the conversation?
Okay, can you get back to your point, which you said I was all over the place, but you're the one who went on all these tangents. If most women don't hate men, then what's your point? If you and I know that, then what's the point?
No, I just asked you what do you call a misandrist?
That's a misandrist.
You said women don't hate men.
Nope. I didn't say that.
No. You say they're justified in saying. You said they're justified in hating men.
Are they not?
It depends on what you think is sufficient justification. That's a subjective question.
Them being oppressed by men.
Them being oppressed is not a reason to be.
Them being oppressed by men is because
it's not a reason to be prejudiced.
Hold on. Do you understand that when I asked you that same question about black people, you said, yeah, I understand that.
I said,
what's
I understood
the difference?
The feeling. The feeling is different. That's different.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, let me explain, because I see you're getting frustrated.
What are you talking about?
Here's the problem. Look, if someone were to upset you, okay? If someone were to upset you, call you a name, right? And you hit them, I can say to you, hey, look, I understand why you are upset, but it was wrong for you to hit that person. That's the difference. You can understand the sentiment, but the actual act of being prejudiced is what's wrong.
But you should stop. But that's the problem, though, and that's why I urge you type of men to stop using analogies. You guys are terrible at it. Because
oh my God.
I'm going to tell you something. It's not like being called a name and then you hit them. Because listen to your analogy. Is what I'm saying. Why you're not as smart as you think you are. In this analogy, the person getting called the name is the woman. Am I right? Is that not what you're saying? Right?
I can't hear you.
The person getting called the name is the analogy.
No, the person getting called the name is the woman.
I'm sorry, is the woman. I'm sorry. In your analogy, the person getting called the name is the woman. Okay, cool. So you're saying that because you're saying that her reaction is overkill for what happened to her. So her being called a name, which isn't harmful really, right? It's just like sticks and stones. And yes, that is. See, here's what I'm saying. That's why your analogy was dumb because in this case, it wouldn't be like the woman was getting called a name. It would be more like, imagine if that woman was being punched and being sat on, right? And like a man was like literally sitting on her back. And then imagine not only was a man sitting on her back, he was sitting. It was a man sitting on every woman's back, right? That in the whole, everywhere, and she could just see all women getting their back set on by men. And then it would be like talking to your reading a book and reading in all of these books that forever women were getting their back sat on by a man, right? And then after like decades and decades and decades and years and years and years and years and years of women getting their back sat on, and this woman actually in real time getting her back sat on by a man, she finally goes, yeah, I don't like men, or I want to punch this man in his face.
Okay, well, here's the thing, though.
Like, that's what it's like.
If you believe that punching someone in their face in response to being called a name is okay, that's fine, whatever.
I didn't say that. I already said it's not like that.
The analogy is intended to illustrate. What I'm talking about is simply the principle of understanding, just separating out. You can understand someone's sentiment.
Do you see how stupid? Hold on, King, that was dumb. Don't pivot, bro.
I'm not pivoting.
Don't do that. You just did something stupid. I'm not talking about getting talked to, getting a name called by, bro. Nobody cares about that. That doesn't make sense. No, because the women aren't getting names hurled at them. They're literally getting physically harmed and mentally abused.
That's an analogy.
That's why your analogy was dumb. I just blew it up. It didn't make sense.
Analogies are not meant to be taken literally.
It's meant to
illustrate a point.
God damn. King, analogies are meant to help convey a point, but the analogy should be a one-to-one. It should make sense. So basically, in your analogy, your assertion is that women are being called a name, right? Meaning like minimal, like there's nothing going to be, because basically being called a name is nothing. Sticks and stones may break my bones, like I said earlier. Being called a name is nothing. There is a time and a place that would justify a person punching another person in their face. That's what I'm saying. But in your analogy, I agree. That wouldn't be the case. I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with punching somebody in the face simply because they were calling you a name. But do I think it's okay to punch somebody in the face that punched you in the face? Yes. And that would be a better analogy because that's more what it's like. But here's the funny part. It's not even that. The analogy is also it's reversed. It would be like a man punching a woman in the face and then the woman calling him a name back. That's what misandry is. Misandry is a woman being punched and then saying "F you, B word," and you're going up. See, that's wrong. They're just as bad. That's why I'm saying you don't understand how to use analogies properly because you don't understand the issue. That's what it is. I'm not saying that you don't understand it in a different context, but in this way, you don't get it because you don't actually understand misandry. You don't understand misogyny. You don't get it. You don't understand either one of those concepts.
Real quick for you. Real quick. This is what I meant. Okay, analogies do not have to map the severity of the situation that you're analogizing to. That's not the purpose of an analogy. Analogy is to demonstrate a principle that can be applied to a number of circumstances, irrespective of the severity, so long as you have certain elements involved.
Sir, you blabbing.
No,
I'm sorry. This is a waste of time.
Can I finish? In this case,
this is stupid. I want to move on because your analogy was dumb.
No, the principle. The principle that I was trying to illustrate was just that you can identify with a person's feelings without necessarily agreeing with the action that they took in response to those feelings.
So you're saying that women they're overreacting to men oppressing them. That's what your analogy is spelling
an
out.
overreaction. Yes.
Prejudice is an overreaction to being
Yes.
oppressed. That's
No.
what you're saying.
Well, whether women are oppressed today is a different question.
So are women oppressed? And that's why I was saying you don't
believe that.
understand misogyny because you don't think women are oppressed.
I don't believe that.
Yes, exactly. You're dumb. That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you want me to tell
Okay,
you?
so you name
You're stupid. Like, what are we talking about? This is crazy. We took all this time for you to come around full circle as a black man and say women aren't oppressed. So are black women not oppressed?
You know,
Are black are black
when's the
people
last
oppressed?
time-
Hold on, King.
when's the
Are
last
black
time
people oppressed?
Obama called
Are
somebody
black? I
stupid?
don't care about Obama. Are black people oppressed?
Jeez, man.
Are black people oppressed or not?
I don't know. I mean, quite honestly, I don't. It depends on how you define oppression.
By the definition, are black people oppressed?
Okay. Well, let's look it up. I want to be precise here, and give you a source.
Oppression is a sustained
Nah, man, that's
abuse. Yeah, it is. It's a sustained abuse over a period of time. That's what it is.
Unjustly harsh, tyrannical.
No. That's not what it is. It's a sustained abuse over an extended period of time. That's what oppression is.
Okay.
So if somebody is like mistreating you for a long time, that would be oppression. If somebody mistreats you once, that's not oppression, right? It's a sustained period of time. But anyways, since you don't know the definition, that's fine. So you don't know what oppression is, and when I asked you, are black people oppressed, your reaction is no. Why wouldn't you just say, well, I don't really know what oppression is?
No, I said it depends on what you define as oppression.
By the definition.
Okay. So if it's the case that you believe that black people have been put up with sustained, prolonged abuse in this country, okay, then yeah, I guess you would say that they're oppressed. But
you're black too.
But here's the thing: not having equitable opportunities or equitable circumstances, doesn't necessarily imply oppression.
That's exactly what it implies.
No.
Especially when it's intentional.
Depends on, and this is where I say the subjectivity comes in. All right. Fart noise, really?
That was dumb. Subjectivity. What are you talking about?
Subjectivity. It's subjective.
It's not subjective.
It's
systemic.
The fact that there is subtlety. You want everything to be clear cut, black and white, and that's just not the way this world is. It's not.
No, I just want to live in reality, and you're not living in reality. And I'll be honest with you. One of the most frustrating things, but here's the thing, my girl BPG pointed this out before. So black men specifically that don't understand oppression and don't like, when black men are misogynistic, they're almost always anti-black, and you're both. Like it never, you can't disconnect the two, right? Like you're anti-black and you're misogynistic. And I'm not surprised by that because you will never find you can't find an anti-black black person that isn't also misogynistic. You can't, the same way you can't find a racist white tea person that isn't also a man that isn't also misogynistic. Like they're inseparable, right? And you don't think that that's weird?
So let me ask you this: do you honestly feel like that you necessarily have to believe that black people's current circumstances in this country is one of oppression in order to believe that we should fight for access, better access to the economy than we do now, better educational opportunities, more funding for our schools? Do you absolutely have to believe that oppression is the circumstance of black people in order to support those things?
I don't have to believe it. It's just a reality.
No,
I don't
because
need
what you
it.
just inferred from my answer to your question about whether we're oppressed that I don't necessarily believe that we need to help black people, or I'm anti-black. One doesn't necessarily correlate with the other. Okay, you can.
Why would we wait? So here's what I'm saying. Here's how I know you just talking in circles.
Okay.
Why in one breath would you believe that if the things you're talking about are systemic issues, right?
Okay.
Are they not? Education things, that's a systemic problem, right? Okay. Systemic meaning if it's a sustained I'm not saying the word systemic. I'm just saying, like, for it to be systemic, wouldn't that also imply that it has been happening for a long time? Like, if we are now currently still systemically behind in school, let's say, right? Then when weren't we behind in
No,
school?
systemic has nothing. Systemic has to do with how widespread it is. It doesn't
Yes.
necessarily. Okay.
Yes. I
It doesn't
understand that. That's what I'm
necessarily
saying.
have
So
to
it's
do with the
systemic.
amount of time
Of course,
that it was in place.
listen to what I'm saying.
Those are two
I'm
different
saying
things.
I separated them already. I'm saying it is widespread, first and foremost, meaning
Okay.
it is systemic, but it has also been happening for a long period of time, has it not?
Correct. Yep, that's correct.
Okay, then that is oppression. You literally just described systemic oppression. That is the definition of it.
Oppression. Okay, let me ask you this.
Oh
Is
my
it a
God,
form of
bro.
abuse?
This
No, because you actually words mean stuff. Okay.
I know, and I
Go
just
ahead
gave
and
you the
read definition
definition.
of oppression again. Go ahead.
The
And we're gonna break
definition
it
of
down as to
oppression
why,
is
and I'm gonna show you why it's subjective. What's the definition? Go ahead, read it.
it's making my head hurt. I'm not reading it. I know the definition. The definition is
Okay.
a sustained abuse
Oh,
over
cruel.
an extended
Cruel. Let's
period
start
of
with
time.
cruel. Let's
Huh?
start with cruel. Okay. Let's start with cruel.
Yeah.
Do you know how school systems are funded?
Yeah.
How are they funded?
By local money, like zip codes, based on how much
Okay.
money is in the zip code. Yeah. They're funded
All right.
two ways. They're also funded federally too.
Okay. So, if there is a disparate amount of funding between two school districts,
A what?
Disparate, different,
Okay.
deficiency in funding relative to a white school district.
They put
All
five.
right. Now,
45
most of the
more.
white people live together, and they earn a greater amount of income. It could be a result of past differences in opportunity. Granted, but the difference in funding between the schools as it stands today, is that necessarily a cruel phenomenon, or is it just by virtue of the fact that schools are funded by local tax dollars and
No.
the tax base is weak in the cities? Or,
No,
or
they said
whatever?
first of all they set it up that way systemically. So here's how let's do a quick history lesson. So redlining, right? So they redlined us. They put us in certain neighborhoods, right? So they gave us certain zip
Okay.
codes. They said this is your zip code and this is white T people's zip code, right? And then they also paid white T people more than they paid black people. They locked us out of jobs and things of that nature. And so when we were making $20,000 a year, they were making $35,000 a year, right? And they got to buy homes, and and they paid their taxes on their homes, and their schools got better funding, and they got a better education. Oh man, they paid to drop you, brother. I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry. I was tired of talking to you, to be honest with you. Yeah, I was gonna give the lesson, but I already know you guys know it, so I'm not gonna do it. You could pay $100 and come back, man. Or we could talk another day, but not today. Dreaded Scott, we'll mute you for the live. You can come up if you want to get unmuted. You've been in the comments yapping, tapping a lot, afraid to come up. We know how it goes. I didn't even get a chance to start my live yet, actually. But welcome. This is my first live. I'm doing Red Pill TikTok reactions. Why are the minos obsessed with masculinity, femininity, and submission? Do they even know what these terms mean? Similar to the gentleman before, they use words that they don't have any idea of what they mean. Like, no clue. That's why he has to constantly look up definitions. Isn't that crazy? He was definitely a mino, right? Contradicting himself all over the place. It was weird. It was crazy. The pseudo-intellectualism is rampant in this country. It is also rampant in amongst black men specifically. We got a problem with that, and we really need to figure out a way to get a hold on the on that thing. A mino is basically like a black man. That guy was a mino. He was very much into massage noir. Yeah. He so I am. What's up, BBG? I am going to play this first video, and then I have some more clips for us to get through. They're hilarious to me. They are. But first, let's start with this one. Here's what I'm saying. Just listen to how this man is describing masculinity. Like, they love to use masculinity, femininity, da-da-da-da-da. Massage noirs, yeah. That's what a mino is.
But it's really you older black men. Older black men, Gen Xers, who's raised men are blamed for this. All these conversations that go on about young black women and how masculine these motherfuckers are, and the conversation has reached Germany from what I understand now, right? But we keep saying that it's the older black women that raised these young black women to be this masculine and independent and strong and all that type of shit. But it's really you older black men. Older black men, Gen Xers, who's raising their daughter. I can't tell you how many young women I speak to, and it.
Got to be careful with this one. He's cursing a lot. He's cursing. Oh, man. Put the F1s in the chat. Put all the protections in the chat, y'all. I'm sorry.
And they tell me that my father raised me to have my own and never depend on no man. But why the fuck would you raise your daughter to not depend on one of you? You don't see yourself as dependable? I know how essential I was to my daughter and her mother while my daughters was coming up. That's the shit that be happening. It's men I blame for this shit. Because y'all raising your daughters to be independent of you. To not need one of you. You don't see yourself as reliable. It's a big part of the problem. So now these women is running around. Everything is an argument. You tell them something for their own good, and they want to argue with you. They want to compete with you. Yo, listen, you bitches is gaining too much weight. You men is gaining too much weight, too. Y'all won't buy the proper food. Listen, man.
Got to be careful. I might have to end this one. It's coming through my mic, so it's coming through my mic, so I got to be careful. But y'all get the point. He was basically blaming fathers for he thinks that he's taking a fresh approach to blaming or trying to figure out why women largely are rejecting men, right? So that's his thing. So now he's blaming the fathers, right? Because he started off by saying, oh, they blaming the mothers, but it's really the fathers. And then he's saying, well, look, the daddies is raising their daughters to be independent women. And he's like, you don't think you're dependable? Crazy. I think that's hilarious. Go ahead, BPG.
Child, first of all, the boys are getting exhausting, if I could be completely honest with you. And I use the term very loosely for boys because I like boys. I think boys are absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. Men are just completely just
unhinged.
Oh, they are nuts. Like it's really insane. And I think that the sad reality is that a lot of them think that they are qualified to tell women how to live, how to breathe, how to be, especially as women. Like a lot of them feel very qualified to tell women how to perform as women, which they know the reason why you are able to tell a woman how to perform as a woman is because you're telling her how to perform femininity, which is social. You know that Crazy. That's socially trained because of the fact that you have characteristics that makes her a woman, that makes her a good woman at that. Because he said it himself. Why she talking so much? Why she talking back to me? Why would you ever raise your daughter to believe that she don't need no man? Like, why would you ever make her think that? And a lot of these same men will say that it's natural for a woman to do that her natural inclination is to be lesser than him, that her natural inclination is to learn from him, and that she will step into her true femininity if only she had a man there that was masculine enough for her to do that. But that tells you, like, that reveals the intent right there, because what is this femininity that she can take on and take off? Like, that means that it's an outfit. It's something she's wearing just to be in order for a man to, be tied to his own masculinity. It's not something that's ever separate entities just living on opposite ends. It's always something that's just like cohesive and working together. So she has to pretend to be feminine so you can pretend to be masculine, and the cycle just continues.
But watch this though. Go. I want to play this because this is perfect. How you set it up. You couldn't set it up any more perfectly than what I'm about to play, y'all. Exactly what. Remember everything BPG just said. Now listen to this clip. It's a long clip. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna pause it a lot. But just listen to this. Tell me this ain't exactly what she's saying. Like this is why I asked, Do they even know what the terms mean? Watch this. Hold on. Something's going on. There we go.
Okay.
Hey, so.
Yeah.
You know when you
This first part, I'm just letting y'all hear because it's so stupid and how hard they was laughing at it. I couldn't believe how stupid they were. I couldn't believe how hard they was laughing at this. This is really dumb.
standing in line at the grocery store and you look over and you see somebody you're not quite sure who they are, and then they start talking in a little dainty voice, and you realize it's a dude dressed as a chick.
It's giving trans.
That's what Nene sound like. Go ahead, sister.
I'm not doing you this morning.
Delulu. Anyway, that joke was not funny. That shit was like when your granny say something that ain't funny and you just force out a laugh, or when you trying to get something about your baby mama, you want her to watch the kids or something this weekend, and you just got to laugh at her joke. Like, that was crazy.
It was like a weird Reddit comedy jam.
I think
Definitely.
Submission and femininity, these conversations can be triggering because of those who are delivering the message. I'm hearing words like to refer to femininity as weak, vulnerable, docile, lacking boundaries. Femininity doesn't mean it.
Hold on. She's not saying much. I don't disagree or agree with what she's saying, really. She's not really the point of this. I want to get to this guy.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry.
Just say cat. You can be submissive and still have an opinion. Submission,
George.
kind, coming from a place of understanding and empathy is more of a femininity thing. I wouldn't say that's submission. I think submission should be reserved for your husband.
I want to give y'all a quick example of what y'all sound like if men was to do what y'all do or what y'all say. Hey, Lord.
What's up?
Hey, man, listen. I don't give a damn who we around. If a woman get into it with me, shit, I can get real feminine, real quick in this bitch. You hear me? I will pop, lock, and switch all around her, pop my fingers, and I will get as feminine as possible if need be, because shit, I'm a masculine man, but if I need to be feminine, I will throw my hair back, switch my hips, and I will be exactly what I need to be for that woman. If she get too sassy, if she get the wrong way with me, shit, I'll drop all this masculinity, and I will be as feminine as possible. Do you see how stupid and silly that sounds? See, what the problem is we got a whole bunch of actresses. Y'all need some Oscars, because you can't just flip-flop.
Keep that in mind, y'all. Hold on to that. Bunch of actresses, y'all need some Oscars. Watch this.
Into shit. It's what you are. A feminine, submissive woman is what she is, not what she does. Oh my God, thank you, Lord. Work through me right now. Use my vocal cords to get your message across. It is not something that you do, it is what you are. A masculine man isn't something that he does. That's what he is. And a lot of...
Is masculinity not performative?
Very.
And femininity is very performative.
Very.
It's not who we are. It's how you act. It's an act.
It's a performance.
It's a performance. He's saying the complete opposite of what masculinity and femininity is, which leads me to believe that they don't know the words that they are using. They're just saying words. These are buzzwords. What?
A lot of y'all have been just like that Joker dude who he unalived himself because he acted as the Joker so long
that he couldn't get out of character. Thank you, God. He acted so long. He acted as that character so long, that's who he became, and he couldn't get out of it. He couldn't get it out of him. He couldn't get the spirit.
What happened? It's weird. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why it did that. That was unnecessary. Oh, that's whack.
Ball so long, you can't cut him off. You can't get it of that joker out of it. He had to unalive himself to get it out of his mind, get it out of his thoughts, because he pretended too long and too hard. And some of y'all have pretended to have dick and balls so long, you can't cut them off. You can't get it off. You can't stop the outrage. You can't stop the screaming. You can't stop the yelling. You are a masculine man without a dick, because it's in your mind. It's a chemical imbalance. You need medication. You need to let down. You need God to come in. You need to lay down and go to sleep and don't wake up. Let's start over.
So, this is the Most High speak.
So, what? So let's just take it from the beginning. Masculinity is a performance. They are traits, characteristics, attributes, whatever you want to say, that you can that you basically identify what's the word I'm looking for? You identify them to be like things that men do, right? Like just things that men do commonly, right? So like, men, like people could say taking out the trash is masculine. I'm just making up something. Taking out the trash is masculine because men take out the trash more than women do, because women hate taking out the trash. Whatever the case may be, right? Mowing the grass, mowing the lawn is masculine because women hate mowing the lawn and men love mowing the lawn, and that's our job and that's what we do. That's what men usually say, stupid shit like that. But okay, you could say those things are masculine. Also, masculine could be being stoic, right? Suppressing your feelings, very masculine thing to do. I think violence is a very masculine thing. I think anger is a very masculine thing. I think these are very masculine traits of men, right? Because this is what I see typically in men. Typically, apathy, definitely a masculine trait. Feminine trait would be nurturing, would be empathy, would be creativity, things of that nature. These are things I associate with femininity. Now, I don't understand how y'all don't get that masculinity and femininity are simply performances. That's all they are. That's why, like for an example, I'm glad I did it. So my nails are painted. If my nails are painted, and this is what Saul said. He said that masculinity isn't what you do, it's what you are. Cool. But when I paint my nails, these be the same dudes that be like, that's feminine. So doesn't that mean that it's an act? If I can look, that's not feminine? Isn't that what femininity, like that's what you guys are saying? That shit is crazy to me. And also, what you're saying, I mean, the part that was funny is, like I told y'all, he said, y'all deserve an Oscar, as he went on to act like a pastor. But also, men are the biggest actors and performers of masculinity, because masculinity isn't, I don't believe, it's not really natural to humans. It's not really natural. I don't think that's our human nature. That's why it's so fragile. If masculinity was natural to human beings, we wouldn't have to beat it into boys. You know what I'm saying? If it was this very natural thing, we would just be born and it would just be like how it is. But instead, we got to beat it into boys. We got to lie to boys. We got to manipulate boys. We got to tell them, we got to tell boys that, oh, that's not for boys. Like if your son does something, like he puts on a dress or something like that, and then you have to tell him that's for women, then it's not, it's a performance then. Because if it was natural, he wouldn't put on a dress at 6 or 7 years old. If it was natural, he wouldn't, like my son, he wouldn't want to paint his nails. He wouldn't want to do makeup. Right? He wouldn't want to do the things that you guys consider to be feminine. He wouldn't want to do them. He wouldn't cry. like you guys say is a feminine thing. Oh, women cry and they're emotional. My sons are emotional. They're boys. You got to tell them not to be emotional. You got to tell them to suck it up. You got to tell them to get over it. You got to tell them to pick yourself up. You'll be all right. That's what we got to tell these boys. But if it was natural, why would you have to tell them anything? Wouldn't it just be? Same thing with femininity. If women are so feminine and they're supposed to be so feminine and they're never supposed to yell and they're never supposed to push back or whatever, because Mr. Saul said that yelling is, this is a funny thing. They attribute yelling to masculinity, because when women yell, they say that that's masculine. So they're saying that men yell, which means we are freaking unhinged, right? Isn't yelling like a sign of being unhinged? Not having control over yourself to some extent? You're elevated or whatever the case may be.
It's a heightened sense of anger for sure. It portrays that, yeah.
Usually, or excitement, right? You can be yelling because you're happy or whatever, but usually it's your emotions should be here, but they're here, and you're yelling. Cool, it happens. No, I don't, there's no tone policing. Yell if you need to. I don't care. But I'm just saying, though, that they attribute that to masculinity. Yelling is masculine, so women can't. But it's odd that the things that they attribute to masculinity for women are just like they don't want a woman yelling at them. That's what it is. They can't stand a woman they can't stand a woman yelling at them because they think women are beneath them. So if a woman yells at them, then it's like, how dare you yell at me? You're a woman. I'm a man. Like a child. Like my child shouldn't yell at me. Hey, you're a child. What are you yelling for? Don't yell at me. I'm your dad. I'm your mom, or whatever the case may be. That's why they try to control women by saying that's not masculine. But gentlemen, women, whoever believe this, whatever you do, that is what it is. Like if women yell, then it ain't masculine or feminine. Everybody yells. And it's funny how when we say stuff that I attribute to men, when I say like, talk about violence, right? They'll be like, anybody can be violent. It goes both ways. But yelling don't go both ways. Like what's more likely in our society? Men or women yelling, or violence? Who's more likely to commit violence and who's more likely to yell? Like everybody yells. My babies yell. BPG yells sometimes. I yell sometimes. My wife yells sometimes. We all yell.
I literally never yell. If I could be
That's a
completely
lie.
honest
I
with you.
don't.
I don't yell, and I that's the honest to God truth. I don't like yelling. I probably haven't yelled at anybody or anything in about 5 years because
I
of the
believe
fact
that.
but to be fair, it's definitely a trauma response. I grew up around a whole lot of yelling and fighting and all, so it genuinely makes me uncomfortable being around yelling. But I think that it ties into what it is you're saying, like that induced fear that a lot of men want to have. Like if you notice, even in the conversation with the men that you had, that's a deep thing. Like the idea of being able to have people fear you and have people be terrified of you, they like that.
Yeah.
They love the idea of people like trembling when they come into a room, even if it's their wife and kids and family members. For sure, that's a thrill. That's a thrill, especially based on that conversation, and we know who that was. For sure, gets a kick out of being
let me shout it out.
Being terrified when they walk in.
Let me shout it out to make sure. That's from Lower's Live this morning. That was Saul. The first lady was Sincere Kitty or Kitten. I don't know her name. I think that's her name. But yeah, there's more to this video. This whole video is funny to me. But that first part was unhinged. I was like, wow, that's how we starting it off. Looks like Mr. Fax is up here. Go ahead, Mr. Fax.
I just want to say we need justice for Sonia Massey. That's all I wanted to say, brother.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we had that discussion earlier. But thanks for bringing it up. Say her name, man. Sonia Massey. Absolutely.
Okay, so speaking of performances,
the performativeness is crazy today. What's going on with y'all?
And you know what though, you said it, and I'm glad that you played it. I'm glad that this conversation has been able to take some necessary segues, because I told you I'm in the process. I read several books at a time. Mm-hmm. So I'm still in the middle of Caste by Isabel Wilkerson, and in the book she talks about how the caste system has players. You are auditioning for the show. And as you're auditioning for the show, you have to go by the points that are marked. So you have to fit the bill by any means. And once you don't fit that bill, you risk not being able to be casted in the play, but also you risk being unalived. Like those are the options when you don't fit into what that caste system looks like. And that could be based on race, based on gender or sex. That could be based on class. That could be based on religion, or anything that you can use to create hierarchical structures. You can be outcast, and when you're outcast, like that's what that word is. When you're outcast, then now you have to face some form of punishment. And I think the most one of the weirdest things that a lot of these people do is that they know that there are like these morally coded goods, or they call them socially constructed masculine traits, that women, if they ever access them, that woman has to be noted as somebody who is morally suspect. She is considered morally suspect because of the fact that she's not playing a game. Because let's think about like all of the things that are considered feminine and good. Okay, so women being caring, women being loving, women being giving and kind, like those are the things that are considered really good womanly traits. But a man being power hungry, if he's, not a caring man, if he's domineering, if he likes to dominate, if he's very power hungry, those are all good presumptive traits to have as a man. But when you're a woman and you start to access those socially, like I said, those socially constructed masculine traits, now you are morally suspect. And it was, I actually took a note of it because I can't remember what book it was. I read it, but they had an example for women who, and this is what it said verbatim: women who compete for roles that are socially masculine will tend to be perceived as morally suspect in at least 3 ways. 1, she's insufficiently caring. 2, she's attentive to those in her social orbit whom she deems worthy of respect. 3, she's illicitly trying to gain power she is not entitled to, and that makes her morally untrustworthy because of the fact that she is a woman who now has access to very manly things, and she's a direct threat. Because if her being morally wrong by the standards that historically work to really protect privileged and powerful white men, if she is a part of that moral downfall, then now she must be shamed, because she will have a corrosive effect on the society as a whole, because other women will pick up on it. And if other women start reading, and other women started taking charge of their body, and other women start not wanting to be mothers and not wanting to, do all the good feminine things, then they'll tell the others. And all of these things, because of the fact that women are trained in that way as a means to dominate, if you can't convince a woman to be these things, you can't dominate her. And if you can't dominate her, who will you be with? Who will you have these children with? Who will you build with? If you can't use her education, if you can't use her morality and her strength in order to build yourself up, if you can't be the man with the strong woman behind every good man is a strong woman.
Whose labor will you steal?
Whose labor will you steal? How will you get things done? How will you create new innovations if you can't pick her brain and you can't use her to make your great, amazing, powerful speeches? Who will be the first people to use computers if you don't have women who are there making up that 90% of the numbers in order to get it started? And then that's ripped from under her, because that's how capitalist innovation work. And I think you said that in a live. What was that? It was either earlier today or maybe it was yesterday. But you said that in a live, that capitalism, it doesn't breed innovation. Capitalism takes innovation and it
steals it.
It literally steals it. So when you have women who don't want to pay to play, and they want to take their innovations and they want to actually put their own names on it. Coretta doesn't want to be Coretta Scott King anymore. Coretta just wants to be Coretta. No last name. Now you don't have a man that's as great, and you don't have a man who's attributed to society in the way that he thinks he does. So now you have to level the playing field in a way where everybody has equity and everybody has access. But that means that men will lose out, because the lie was that they were amazing and great and we should lift them up. But the whole time it was women at the bottom and they were the table.
Anybody that's asking for the books, you guys could join the Discord. We got the book suggestions in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
BBG
start
is
suggesting books because y'all
yeah.
be playing in my face.
Yeah. Put them in the Discord. We already got a long list of books in the Discord, but BPG definitely she be in there, so she could do it in there, make it easy for everybody. That way we
You
don't gotta
missed
be.
it actually in Franklin's live the other day. Asaya tried to play me and said that I was making up a quote, and said that I
Of all
said that
people.
I didn't read that anywhere. And then when I showed her the book, she was like, you know, we can't see them letters, so I zoomed in so you
Oh
could see the letters. And then
my
she was
God.
like, well, I mean, it's you just did that just to argue. Nobody can really see.
Oh,
I'm like, girl,
stop.
stop fishing, baby. There's
She need to
water
stop.
around somewhere. You don't need to fish for me.
The Discord is in my link tree. The Discord is in there. You got to copy and paste the link. What up, Vanity? Hold on, let me get back to this. All right, we got a lot of clip left. I got like 20 minutes of this left, so let's get through it. It gets funnier. There's just the conversations are so funny in here. I'm so glad I caught this. It's so hilarious to me.
Speaking to you, you have made me proud.
Hold on.
Attack, and then think that it's never going to become attached to you.
Hold
You've
on.
acted so like something for so long, and then think. And even though I'm trying to be a little funny, but y'all got to understand that you cannot portray something and then think that it's never going to become attached to you. You've acted so like something for so long that that's just who you are. That's what you are now. So when you say, oh, it depends on the man, I already know you're a good actress. You're a very good actress. And unfortunately for all you good actresses, your real life character comes out every motherfucking time you don't want it to. Every time you really don't want that motherfucker to come out, that's when it really come out. Because a masculine man is a masculine man, and a feminine woman is a feminine woman, and a masculine woman is a masculine woman. Period.
Drop the mic. What? Hold on. Go back. Did y'all hear? What the fuck? What did that mean?
This is your real life character comes out every motherfucking time you don't want it to. Every time you really don't want that motherfucker to come out, that's when it really come out. Because a masculine man is a masculine man, and a feminine woman is a feminine woman, and a masculine woman is a masculine woman. Period. My grandmother was the most fragile, most frail, most feminine, submissive woman, but guess what? She had 16 kids that would fuck your ass up if you ever was to raise your voice to her. And she had the entire community of Muskogee, Oklahoma that would jump on your ass if you ever did anything to her.
It's for educational purposes.
Power.
It's for educational purposes.
She had an entire town she could stick on your ass.
My grandmother was the same way. And if those men weren't around, she had 6 lead pellets waiting for your ass in that 38 snub nose.
Why does everything trace back to violence for these dudes? Why is everything leading back to violence? Even when they speak of the women, the feminine women who they're talking about, they're violent. It's weird. But I thought women, I didn't think that was feminine. Whatever.
How many people was it in your town where you grew up, so?
Because a masculine man is a masculine man, and a feminine man is a masculine woman. And a masculine woman, the dick bone's connected to the knee bone.
You know what Saw said? I was hoping, I was wondering if the women were going to ever say that, because there's like, if you're feminine, that's just who you are. There's no, I don't know how to turn that off or on. I am who I am. And to your point, Lord.
Nene, did anybody say that? Nene, did anybody say
every day, I need a man to put me in my femininity? That sounds so silly. If a man
This is Jalazi, if anybody's wondering.
said he needed a woman to put him.
What Samuel L. say in Jurassic Park? Hold on to your butts.
One at a time, ladies. One at a time.
We have got to learn to let people speak one at a time.
Did anyone say that femininity is conditional?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. My bad.
Many times.
Yeah, I did hear that. He's not mine. I did hear that myself. He did. I heard that myself.
It said on
And
this
that's why I
app.
was wondering why no one ever said that, because we've had this discussion before.
Hattie, the answer to your question is 67,000.
Oh, okay. So it went too super small. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah.
That's Hattie Mae. Hattie Mae also humongous pick me.
It's really, I don't think femininity is conditional. If you're feminine, you're just feminine. It's not about a voice. It's not about anything. It's about being a lady.
Yeah, Serenity, go ahead and explain that bullshit you just put in the comments. She just proved our point. Come on, you.
She did improve their point.
Beautiful actress.
Don't flirt with me today, so I'm not in the mood.
Come on, you beautiful actress. Go ahead and tell us how it's conditional.
Oh, wait, hold on. Only a lady that doesn't want to be feminine and masculine thinks that Saul's jabbing you is flirting.
What? Only a lady that doesn't want to be feminine and masculine is Saul jab? What?
No, he flirts with me. He calls me baby and stuff on other panels. And
I call you baby too. I call everybody baby.
Gross.
So I call everybody baby.
Oh my gosh. I know he be playing with me because he know I don't like it. So that was me telling him, don't start today. He know what I'm saying. Man.
Somebody
whatever you want.
See? Leave me alone. Anyway.
Shit about to get wassa.
Whatever you need. My heart belongs to you.
Go ahead, Serenity.
Thank you. Yeah, so I do think it's
That was Saul and Lower singing.
I think it's a time and a place. When I think of femininity, I don't necessarily think of soft voices necessarily. I know some very, very feminine women with some raspy voices. I don't think many people would say that Gladys Knight isn't a feminine woman, and she has a very raspy voice. So I think it's how you carry yourself. True enough. But I do think sometimes you got to get with these people.
But wait, if it's not performative, y'all, remember what Saul said. If it's not performative, what do you mean by carry yourself a certain way? Carrying yourself is indeed a performance. Am I wrong? Is carrying yourself not a performance? Isn't that the whole idea of carrying yourself a certain way? It is a performance because you can carry yourself this way or you can carry yourself that way. The rest of this video, they're going to basically argue against the point that Saul made initially. He's going to argue against his own point for the rest of the video. This shit is, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. It's so wild. Serenity makes a fair point. She says, I think it's a fair point.
And maybe that is what I'm
Did she say Gladys Knight?
Dang, my phone is going off today.
Gladys Knight is an asshole nigga.
Is she? I never seen her.
Yeah.
Everybody know it too.
Yeah.
She is an asshole at her concerts. She would show up 2 hours late, cuss the whole crowd out.
What does that have to do with her being feminine or masculine? Because she shows up late to her concerts?
The whole crowd out.
And then singing.
My type of woman. I like her.
Oh, wow. I did not know that about her.
I like her.
I want to know the moments when it's conditional, though. I'm really interested in hearing.
Yeah, conditional. I think if someone is on
as soon as you're done, the men gonna do the same thing. Go ahead.
I don't care. They do it all day on this app. So anyway, I think it's conditional because there's a time and a place. That's what I said originally. It's a time and a place to be soft. It's a time and a place to be hard. I do. So
she's just saying, obviously, like women and people have duality, right? Like we could be soft, we could be hard, whatever. It's not a feminine or masculine thing. It's just, depending on the time and the place, right? Fair enough. I respect that. We're gonna fast forward to Miss Jalazzy.
think it's a time and a place. I don't know. I mean,
I
that's
don't think
Because
anyone
again, you
is.
guys, there go and I'm not trying to come for you at all, Serenity. This is something I see on a daily basis. But the mockery of just a woman being soft and giving to her husband is something that's looked down upon. Why every time that a black woman or any woman for that matter gets on this app and she come home cooking for her husband, or she's just doing something out of kindness for her husband, women get, especially black women, but Western women in general, this is all.
Why is everything especially black women? Coming from a black woman, especially black women, is wild. Damn. Can we go one day where something don't be especially black? It was unnecessary. Especially for what? What the black? This shit is wild, man. Oh, I'm sick. I'm not a black woman. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing it. I don't understand. Somebody told me on a live one time, he was like, I'm sick of hearing your name. Me and him mutuals, we cool. But he was like, I'm sick of hearing your name all the time. I was like, me too. That's how I feel about black women. Like, I'm just sick of it. Like, y'all don't ever, it's never in a positive light. It's always some random shit attached to it. What the hell did that have to do with black women? Especially black women? Please. Unnecessary.
This is all American women for real. But black women in particular, y'all get, it's a black woman or any woman for that matter gets on this app. It's looked down upon. Why every time that a black woman or any woman for that matter gets on this app and she come home cooking for her husband, or she's just doing something out of kindness for her husband, women get, especially black women, but Western women in general, this is all American women for real, but black women in particular, y'all get mad or like irritated about somebody doing something nice. And I thought that was so, like that woman that came home from her hospital shift while her husband was still at work and she started cooking a full-course meal for her man. All you can see is black women in the comments talking about couldn't be me.
Jalazi, because they think it's fake. And I think that's the sad part about our community.
Hey, do y'all know how the comments work? Do we gotta tell people? You do realize that they show you comments. If it's not like the most popular comment, like if you scrolling down, they show you the comments of the people they think you want to see too. That's how the algorithm works too. So if you seeing a bunch of black women, it's because you a black woman and it know what you want to see. Oh Lord. Trying to explain to people how social media works is exhausting. I don't know if y'all know this. For those in the back that don't know, if you look in a comment section, they'll give you like the top comments, right? Like we all kind of see the top comments, right? It'll be 4 or 5 or 6. But like when you get to them next like 8 or 9 or 10, they just giving you shit that they think you think is funny. They think you will relate to. That's how it works. So if you see a bunch of black women saying it, it's because they know you a black woman or they know you be on black women TikTok or whatever the case may be. But they pick up on that the same way they show you the videos. Like, come on. And she's referring to that video of her, of that lady coming home from work and she took off her shoes and y'all saw it and she went and she was like, when I get home from work, I cook or something like that. And she like, does like the meal or whatever and cooks for her man. I didn't watch a lot of her videos. I saw like 2 of them. I never saw her husband. A part of me thinking she playing in our faces. That's me though, because I know how the internet works. So I don't be believing none of that shit. But if she did do it, good on her. I don't know what her husband does. He might do the same thing for her. Who freaking knows? I ain't in them people relationships.
Community is that our women are so used to being nasty nice, fake nice with one another. Our community.
That woman that came home from her hospital shift while her husband was still at work and she started cooking a full-course meal for her man. All you can see is black women in the comments talking about couldn't be me.
Jalazi, because they think it's fake. And I think that's the sad part about our community is that our women are so used to being nasty nice, fake nice with one another. You giggling in somebody's face, but you really don't like them, or you talk about them some type of way, or just really have no true definitions of standards of what love is. So that way, when you see someone who is just genuinely a nice person, some people do not like me just because I'm genuinely nice. I'm just genuinely sweet all the time.
Who don't like you because you genuinely nice? You saying black women don't like you because you genuinely know? Am I tripping? This shit is crazy. I told y'all this shit is wild to me. I'm listening to this like this can't be life. There's no way this is for real, right? Like, what are you talking about? Who doesn't like you? Why is everything, especially black? Like, I don't know. She stated facts. Oh, okay.
And I want to tie that to submission. A lot of y'all got with submission, the definition of submission wrong. You think submission is only something that you do for a man. Submission is ultimately servitude. You should be of service to yourself and to others. It's not necessarily just, what you do for you.
Let her finish.
It's not just.
I'm sorry, I got lost signal.
Yeah, okay. Come back and say it, Saw. It's not, and that's why they think it's fake, Jalazzy, because to them it is fake. Oh, she do that for her man, but I know she ain't really like that. Or maybe they only do it when they got a man and they not really like that, and so it's fake for them. And fake will only ever see fake. And if you view submission.
Am I tripping, y'all? Help me, anybody up here, help me. I'm trying to interpret what she's saying. So she's saying that black women aren't nice to their men? Am I misunderstanding what Vanity? Am I missing that? Is that not, am I misinterpreting what she's saying, or am I like tripping?
She's trying to say that black women aren't even nice to each other, and therefore, because we can't be quote unquote nice to each other, and we're always nasty nice. We can't fathom that a woman would be quote unquote nice to her man. Gotcha. But it's ridiculous and BS because she's also being nasty nice while talking about who is about nasty black women. Nice. It's a huge projection.
She's being nasty nice while because she's whispering it, but it's very insulting and condescending, right? Like I'm listening to it like this sounds terrible to me, but maybe that's just me. But that's what I thought. Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing it.
Mission as being fake, or as conditional, because again, it's not conditional. It's either in you or it's on you. And if it's not in you, then it's not in you. But I suggest that's something that you practice for yourself, because we are all called to be servants. And you should aspire to be a servant to yourself and to others, not just when you get a Negro.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna give y'all.
So she was describing herself, because at the end of it all, that's what I got from it. Am I tripping? Because man, this shit is funny, dude. Oh my God, this is so scary. It's so scary.
Give y'all an example.
And after you
stays on top. Yeah. Stays on top. Everybody on this app knows her. Stays on top.
Yep.
I want you to think about stays on top. And I want you to think about stays on top having somebody come at her disrespectful and how she would respond.
Okay.
Right? How would she respond and how men come at her? Has any man on this platform ever raised their voices?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He disrespects her all the time.
Hold on.
Excuse me. Wait. Man on this platform, excuse me, ma'am.
Huh?
Can I finish, please?
Go ahead,
Can I finish, please?
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. So no man on
stays on top is another content creator. She's just like super pick me. He's saying stays on top, like nobody disrespects her. But watch this. Instantly, that's bullshit. I've seen it. I've seen her be disrespected. I think I disrespected her before. I don't know if I yelled at her or anything, but I definitely cooked her. But he's saying nobody disrespect her. Okay. This is crazy. But remember what he said before. Masculinity and femininity, they're not performances. They're what you are, right? Okay. This is crazy.
On this platform has ever disrespected stays. Ever. On this platform. Never. In fact, we go to support her and protect her. Now compare her to Tansy. Two different individuals. One individual who is a submissive, feminine woman. She's married and she conducts herself in a certain way. And the majority of black men that encounter her protect her, respect her, don't overtalk her. Because as soon as she says, excuse me, can I finish? Everybody just shuts up. Everybody. Women and
That's because y'all be on her panel, and that's usually what that's the courtesy people extend to everybody on people's panels. It's not because they like her at all, I don't think. Also, y'all know they be showing those women fake respect, right?
And men, we all will support her and protect her. How many of y'all are supporting protecting Tansy? How many? Anybody? Anybody in here? Support and protecting Tansy. In fact, when she gets into it with a man, everybody in here shuts up and you can't wait to see the interaction. You can't wait to see it. You're not saying, Tansy, come on, girl, stop. That's not like you. You're not doing that. You letting that bulldog bitch go up and down the damn fucking app, getting into it with all types of men. And if she...
Excuse me? What did you call? I didn't repeat that. What? I missed that part. I listened to this clip. I did not. Wait a minute. Where did that come from, sir? Wow. Okay.
And if she was to get her head busted public, you wouldn't be surprised. You wouldn't be surprised at all. But if Stays was to get her head busted public, everybody would be surprised. Everybody would be like, what? Stays? Why would anybody hurt her? Because of who and what she is. And she has the power to summons me, Lower, Omega, Basic, my entire crew. We will come to her beck and call, and we have no relationship with her, blood or sexual. And that's the difference right there.
Why is everything violent? Wait, huh? How do we get there? How do we arrive at their heads getting cracked? What? Why? Go ahead, y'all. That was crazy.
All right, just
The
let me
same person will say we're lying when we talk about the violence of men and how men use violence to reinforce this false narrative that all this crap is natural.
For real.
Okay, so here's the thing. Well, first of all, I love the fact that the use of Mino is being spread. I thought I put out a decree that we were going to stop with the masculinity and femininity for 2024, but I see that we're not. So BPG was saying something about the book Cast earlier. First of all, that is an amazing book. I recommend everybody reads it. But what she was, I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but what she was describing was essentially how they determined how we use masculinity and femininity today. The doctrine of separate spheres, when Queen Victoria was coming into power, and they said, we can't let these bitches get any idea that they can have power too. And this is where we actually get the idea that the feminine is nurturing and docile and fragile and all these like things that basically says that you're easily attacked and crushed, right? So I guess when the she-bears are protecting their cubs, they're in the masculine. When the praying mantis bites off her mate's head after coitus, this is, her being in her masculine, because, whatever the case may be. So I heard our boy Joffrey say 16 kids is what his grandmother had, and that it kind of explains why his uncle is his daddy, is giving Joffrey, is giving Game of Thrones, is giving the Dugars, right? When you have that many kids, this is a danger. And to the I'm not going to get into my usual spiel about feminine and masculine because I just don't feel like it. But it is, for those who do want to look it up, before the plebs got a hold of masculinity and femininity, it was a principle in hermetics, right? That is ancient, the laws of, everybody likes the law of attraction, but there's 105 different universal laws, and the law of gender is just one of them. And the funny thing is, because I didn't see your nails today, Pub, but I heard you said you painted it.
But yeah.
So you actually, nice, I like that color. Purple's my favorite. You actually, doing that. When it comes to gender in that aspect is a form of alchemy where somebody is learning to master themselves. So find out you out here being an alchemist and being a little bit more masculine than, those screaming on the pick me stages and everything like that. Because instead of being performative, you're saying, let me try a thing and work on me. It's that whole deconstruction thing. So yeah, kudos for you because that nail polish is masculine AF. I can't wait till more men start wearing kilts and guy liner. That's my dream. So hey,
Guy liner. I don't think
I
I'm ready
love.
for the guy liner yet. It's because I suck at putting on makeup. I barely can paint my fingernails. Them shits is busted. But the colors look good.
I'm in love with some guy liner. So hey, you know. But yeah, so like I'm listening to this and I'm like, this is what happens when your uncle's your daddy. This is what happens when, you know, you grow up in houses where your only way to grasp onto the ideas of masculinity and femininity is to use a bastardized version of, you know, hermetics that was distilled down through the plebeian society in Victorian era. I don't wash my ass days. And this is what you get. You get this conversation, and it's gross.
Mm-hmm. That's facts. What up, Penelope?
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
We chilling.
Yeah, I'm mainly just listening. It's all very confusing, this idea of masculinity and femininity. But you know, I'm just a woman, so I'm sure there's a reason for that.
You need a man to mansplain it to you. I'll play Saw again. He'll break it down.
Absolutely. One thing that has struck me is it seems like you know if somebody is feminine if they are married, or at least that's one way you can tell.
What?
And I think it's hard to know when somebody's married, especially online, you know, and a lot of these people, they'll lie to you, but it seems like if you've taken the name of another man, then maybe that's a way to discern. Somebody here earlier mentioned Coretta Scott King, one of my heroes being just Coretta. And I love that idea, but we know that she was feminine because she had a man's name, like King, right? So my father has another man's name, and my mother has another man's name. And I think part of what this confusion is I think because a lot of Black men were actually the wives of society by taking on other men's names and, you know, performing free labor. I think there's just like a lot of confusion about that. And I think that one of the things that we might need to do is just put some of these wives back in the home where they can thrive. And I just think that, you know, man, woman, whatever, a wife is a wife. And as long as you're in the home performing free labor, you know, you can fulfill your duties to the home and thrive. And I think the Black community can really learn a lot from these men who really know what it means to be a wife and what it means to be feminine.
Respect, yeah. We might, and they say men better at everything. We might be better at being feminine too. Who knows? we may just yet prove to be the best feminine people on the planet. I don't know. Let's put it to the test though. I'm willing to try.
It would explain a lot, at least to me. But you know, I'm just a woman. It might be tricky.
Yeah, you got a good beat on it though. I ain't gonna hold you. What up, BBG? I know you said your phone died, but you here now.
Yeah, my phone died, and you know, for all the Detroit people, my husband gave me my birthday gift, and it was Buffs. If you don't know what that is, Google it. I'm trying to contain myself. Yes, it's a Detroit thing.
It must be. It's a food.
It's not.
Oh shit! Okay, that sounds like a dish.
It's not. It's not a dish.
Cool. Look it up.
But yeah, I first of all, the audio is just so incredibly disturbing because for one, we have seen people go out the stage. We have plenty of times. We've also seen her flip that off though. We have seen. So I've been on TikTok for a while. Like I've been on TikTok. I was one of those people who came on like a little bit before the pandemic hit. So I've seen people sort of transform from one form of a person to another. The soft-spoken, you know, calm, cool, everybody, you know. There were a few people who were like that, and they would switch that on and off if you pissed them off good enough. And I think that it's not even it's not a direct attack to her, but it is a good example of how much of that is performative. Like we hear those conversations with people who are a part of the Mormon community. Like they talk about that with that Nara Smith chick, and how she often will, talk in this very sweet, somber, I'm making dinner for my husband, and
that's the black lady, right?
Yes, that's the black lady.
The model, with the model husband, yeah.
Right. But there's a science behind that, why they have these very soft-spoken, sometimes girlish voices, like and because they sound like kids, but also because they don't sound threatening. Because what men don't want to admit is that harsh timbre, that yelling, that elevated tone, when they hear from men or from women, it actually does cause a reaction in them. It does scare them, it does frighten them, and they don't want to ever, because they see that as an attack. They don't ever want to address that with a man, because they know that elevated, like I said earlier, that elevated sense of anger means that something else is about to happen. And truthfully, for a lot of them, they don't want to admit that they triggered. Like they remember how their dad was. They remember what that meant when dad came in the house stumping and screaming, whether you did something wrong or not. It was time for somebody to be punished. And more than likely, because you were the smaller being in the house, that was going to be you. And I think for a lot of these dudes, they want to practice masculinity because of the fact that they know how they treat women differently based on who they are and whether or not they are attached or detached to femaleness, and whether or not they can exploit that. Because that was the other thing that he said. He said, we would never disrespect her. We would never, do that to her, because she's submissive, because she's quiet, because she's, docile. And they even the word fragile and frail was used. Well, I would never try a woman that's fragile and frail. I would never do that. But a woman who isn't that, well, she's not even a woman, is she? She's a man. And what can I do to men? They list all of the things that they can do to men. You can walk up to a man, and if a man say the wrong thing to you, you can sock him in the face. If a man say the wrong thing to you, you can physically attack him. So what happens to a woman that you consider a man? What happens to a woman who takes on those masculine traits and now she is doing the same things that the dudes do? Because remember, when we talk about equality, we've heard many of these male creators tell us, when they talk about equality, the first examples that they use is, well, if you step in a man's face, or if you raise your voice at a man and you talking outside of your neck to a man, what do you expect to happen? That tells me that, again, you understand the performance, you know what the play is, you know what the plot of the movie is, but you don't want to admit that you're the bad guy. You dress like the bad guy, you act like the bad guy. First of all, most of these fools, they profile picture be the bad guy. We've seen so many dudes, and it ain't even just Saw. We have seen so many men who have villains as their profile pictures. They want it known who the character is, who they are in the movie, but they want to spend the entire movie as the alter ego and lead us to believe that the reason why we can't figure out which man is which is because we're looking at the evil character, we're pointing to the evil character, and nobody believes that that's who he is. That's not a matter of us not knowing. We're saying that's who they are and what they do and how they perform. But because they don't want to believe it, now it's a reflection on us and how women should choose better. No, we have always been choosing better. We have always been giving men the benefit of the doubt, and we have always been in a space where we want to believe that inherent goodness exists in men. Even women to this day still want to believe that there is inherent goodness in men, even though, again, the whole movie, the trailer, the poster, the IMDb all say this is a movie about a villain. Every single time.
y'all keep thinking the ending gonna be different. That's the crazy part. That's why I was saying earlier with old boy, I was like, that's why I would never hold that against women. Because the movie ends up being the same. I mean, the ending ends up being the same every time. Right? It's
the same movie all the time. There's a quote that I learned, and I had to take a director class in undergrad, and it said there is no such thing as a new movie. Like the story is always
it's like
same.
5 plots.
It's 5 of them. It's literally
it's the same ones every single time. Yeah.
It's how you get. And honestly, that part, the part of the story doesn't matter. People don't care about seeing the ending or the beginning, because most of the time when you watch a trailer, it actually does tell you what's going to happen at the beginning of the movie and what's going to happen at the end of the movie. Like if you watch trailers, you know how Bad Boys is going to end. Like Will Smith's character and Martin Lawrence's character is going to survive because there has to be another Bad Boys and they going to save the day, blah, blah, blah. You know that's going to happen. But the most important part why good movies aren't spoiled is because of the fact that it's the journey. The character's journey matters the most. How did you get from point A to point B? The sad part is that a lot of men don't want to look at point A, because then they'll have to go back to their childhood and they'll have to channel their inner femaleness that they believe. They will have to channel their inner helplessness and hopelessness, and they'll have to go back to when they were scared, and their vulnerability and their submissiveness, and that terrifies them, because then they will be seen as female. And what happens once you become a female character? the movie changes for you once you switch from, you're no longer Will Smith, you're the love interest. It's a very different movie for you.
Facts. That's crazy. It is a lot of that going on. That's for sure. I see that. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Perfectly summarized. Because we don't want to do any of the unpacking for fear of what demons are in there, for lack of a better term. And we're scared. We're scared to get on that ride. That ride is a bumpy ride. It's a bumpy ride. Charles, what's up, man? You can't read people's minds. People have thinking flaws. Charles trying to come up. Can't.
Ew.
Can't do it, man. Can't have Charles up here. You people do this all the time. What do you mean, you people? We can't do Charles, man. Can't do it. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's a good example, though, too, because if you think about it, the common phrase that he uses is what? I'm going to intellectually dominate you every single time. That's the plot for the villain. That's the because being intellectual in and of itself separately is not bad. The moment that you slide in that dominate, though, you mean to humiliate. You mean to make somebody feel lesser than. You mean to humble them in a dangerous way. Like that's what that means. That's what the purpose of that is that person doesn't actually learn anything. You just use the knowledge base that you think you have, because we know that Charles doesn't. But you use the intellectual knowledge base that you think that you have in order to make somebody else feel smaller. And what would be the benefit of making somebody else feel smaller? It's because of the fact that you want to feel big. Like there are a lot of 5'5" men that are making women bend down to lead them to believe that they are 6 foot. And the trouble is that they get around a bunch of other 6 foot women and they get in that room and they get terrified. They start shaking in their boots because they're like, wait a minute, I thought I was tall. You're not tall. Though you were around a bunch of women who were quite literally bending down so that you could feel like you were taller, and you weren't actually tall. Now the terrible part is there's a whole lot of 5'4" women who looking for a man that's a little bit taller than her, that would be perfectly fine with you being her 5'5" taller than her king. She would be perfectly okay with that. But instead, you rather find a woman that's 6 foot and make her feel small so that you can feel bigger. That's the weird part.
Charles, if you not clocked in right now, you can come up, man. If you on the clock, you can't come up. Be honest. You on the clock? You in the truck right now? Or you at the house chilling? If you clocked out, you can come up, man. But if you clocked in, I'm not gonna do that. I can't do that. Call management. We gotta call that management. Nah, you not taking. Nah, you at work. Nope. See, it was a trick question. I knew you was at work, bro. You been clocked in. You been clocked in for 82 hours straight, bro. You been clocked in for 82 hours straight. Nah, you at work, bro. Nah, I'm good. I wasn't gonna let you up anyway. I know you at work. It's all good. Don't nobody work more. Hey, no, on some real shit though, y'all. Y'all can say whatever you want about Charles. I ain't gonna hold y'all. That's the hardest working man in America. That's the that man that. Hey, that y'all can say whatever you want to say about Charles, but you can't say that man don't clock in.
He earned them 6 figures.
But I'm starting to believe he actually make it because I'm like, he at work all the time. You better be making 6 figures at work as much as you at work. You better be at work, bro. Like, I mean, you better be making 6 figures. You on that. You working that many hours. You know, yesterday I was saying I was like, I don't believe you. People be working, talking about they working 80 hours a week. Nah. Charles actually working. He working. You on 5 trucks. That's what's up. Hope you got that little seatbelt noise fixed too. I ain't, brother, you think I'm shading you. I'm not. I'm being 100% dead serious. I will let people say whatever they want to say about you, but they will not ever say that you don't work. That's not, I can't. I refuse. I refuse to. If you don't work, then none of us work. If Charles don't got a job, don't none of us got a job. That man always working. And I love that for him. I hate that for myself though, but I love that for him.
He hustling.
He hustling.
It's 20 an hour, but shoot, when you multiply it by 150, multiply that by 2, the numbers start adding up. He got to work every single hour. He got to work every hour.
Ain't no way Charles make minimum wage. BPG.
Weekends.
Ain't no way.
No, for sure. You be surprised how many dudes will add them jobs up to make a 6 figure. Like I've seen guys who work 2 and 3 jobs and they work part-time here, full-time here, part-time here, and at the end of the day they pulling up what the dude said earlier in they Hellcat.
2 Hellcats.
They got 2 of them in the back.
2
Hellcats and a 1,200 square foot house, living the best life ever, making them 6 figures.
I would take
easy
1,500 square feet, but not 12. 12 a little bit too tight for me, but I'll take 1,500 with a cool little backyard. I think my house is about that big right now. I think it's like 15 or 16. But yeah,
that's because in California y'all got to fight for y'all life for every little square footage.
Yeah. 1,500 at where I'm at. That's decent. With a nice backyard, like a pool. Yeah, I'm with that. I could do that. Because I had a big ass house before. That shit was. It was 2,200 square feet, man. The room I didn't see certain rooms for months. Like I would open up the door, and it would smell like old in there and stale. And I was like, yeah, it's whack. I ain't been in this room. The door would like stick. You would open up, make that noise like a new door, like it like rip open every time. I'm like, I ain't been in here in months. Like I don't even need all this. That's crazy. No, it's dumb.
My mom is one of them old people that just need a big, huge house for zero reason. Her house is 3,500 square foot.
Yeah,
that's weird. And she has like a quarter acre lot for absolutely no reason. I'm like, ma'am,
who's cleaning that
space? She is, cause she's an old lady, and
they be needing stuff to do. I'm
trying to be ageist, but that's what she's an old black lady. She be walking around that house cleaning up stuff that ain't dirty, talking about the house so nasty. She cutting her grass every weekend.
If I only got 2 kids. But if I had what I'm saying, we like extended family for sure. I would have something that big. Got a couple people living with you, whatever. Cool, no problem. But nah, I want my little four person family, and my youngest son don't even want to sleep in his own room. That mug, he want to sleep with his brother. So,
oh Lord,
yeah, I don't even need the 3rd bedroom. It's crazy, but that's what it is, man. Hey, so check this out, y'all. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to try to do this on the reg. It just depends on how much energy I put into it, how many good clips I get. I'm going to need good clips. But I'm going to try to basically do this as much as possible where I'm just doing like reactions to the red pill clips. I do it on my YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? I make it into like videos, but like I'll do it live too. So I'll do like a live version of it. I think it's fun live.
It is. It's way more interesting live. I'm glad that I caught that live yesterday of that lady. I usually miss the shenanigans, no pun intended. Shout out to shenanigans, but to see that live, oh boy,
which one?
The lady that was talking about her husband working 20 hours.
Oh, Bunny.
He was like, she had the baby hollering in the background. I ain't gonna play her on that part because I got kids. Like, whatever.
Sometimes it do just be also like and I don't even be not. I'm not one of those people. I don't be on that like you need to watch your kids. Like that woman watch her babies. Like I ain't tripping. She there with them all.
I know kids be plotting on your downfall. The moment that they see you doing something that they feel like you even remotely productive, they will start being haters, including babies. Like babies will start being haters real fast. Just to make your point moot. Now her point was moot regardless, but the baby sure didn't help.
Yeah, it came up at the wrong time.
Like it stopped her from saying whatever it was she was saying that wasn't true, but for sure, like it didn't help with the case. And I think that's the thing, like that's always most weird to me is that people who have these extreme ideas, like they usually end up needing compassion much faster than they expected. Mm-hmm. And the thing that they want to promote is the thing that's quite literally to their detriment. Like I can understand as a mom, ma'am, that you're trying to get a thing done. I can because she said she was cleaning her bathroom. I can wholeheartedly believe and understand that you just wanted your daughter to go pick up your son for a second so he would stop crying so you could finish the bathroom. I relate to that. However, I think
she said she was cleaning it. I thought she was in the bathtub.
She was cleaning her bathroom.
Oh, I thought she was in the bathtub. I didn't hear no scrubbing going on. There's some water. Sounded more like just you was laying. No, for real, it sounded like water. It's like bath water.
She that's what she said. She said she was cleaning her bathroom. So okay, whatever, And I ain't gonna judge how she was cleaning her bathroom. That's not a thing.
Hey, Jay said I thought she was just hiding.
She probably was.
Man,
I had been there. I had 3 kids under 4 at the same time. I had 2 in diapers together. I can understand and I can relate. But the thing is when you have these extreme ideas around women staying cute and staying fit and staying friendly, and your kids should never be crying because you should be taking care of them, and you shouldn't be having other kids taking care of your kids because you the mama, and blah blah blah. Like when you have these very traditionalist ideas, they tend to turn on you first. Mm-hmm. Because now you have people who are so pissed off at just the ideas that you have that it was people in the comments like, girl, is you gonna get your kid? See, you talking about being a good woman and a submissive wife and you can't even take care of your kids. But that's the seed you know what I mean? That's the seed you
brought that on yourself. You brought that on yourself.
She was also talking about how she has this super soft life while she's scrubbing a bathroom and her kids are hollering for her because her man worked 11 hours a day and she don't need no help, and it's great that he provides and goes out and does all this working, but you're at home clearly struggling. You're on alive trying to convince other people that everything about your life is magical and soft. And I was like, there's nothing in my imagination of soft life that includes scrubbing toilets and tubs while my baby screams and I need to have another person come get the baby.
The soft life has a foundation that is completely concrete. It is steady and it is sure. But if you fall on it, it won't be a soft fall. And I think that's the part. Like when you make these like real wide sweeping generalizations, even about yourself and about what that looks like to be a stay-at-home mom and being with kids, and my husband takes care of all of this, so that I can live my soft life. The life ain't soft. Screaming kids and scrubbing toilets ain't nothing about that soft. There's nothing that even feels soft about that.
That's a hard life. Shit sound like
very
detention.
hard.
Shit sound like detention.
I
know it. Y'all gotta. It's crazy, man. If you a parent, you know what the shit feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like parents know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's like parents know. Parents know how them kids just be on you all the time. Kids just always on top of you all the time. You can't never get a break. You gotta always do something for them every 5 minutes. They need breakfast. They need lunch. They need dinner. They need a snack. They need you to help them. They just do stupid stuff, mess stuff up. You gotta go behind them and pick it up, or you gotta tell them to clean it up if they're old enough. You gotta make them. Then you gotta sit down with them and do the work. And then it's wild. It's a lot, man. And I mean that's just stuff you gotta do for the kids. And then you gotta do the stuff for yourself, and you gotta do the stuff for the house in general. Like this becomes this whole big thing, and it's a never-ending siege of work. And anybody that acts like that's not hard work is funny to me, because I'm like, you obviously have never done it. like,
Yeah.
like obviously, you're not gonna tell me, like, look, I do more work now than I did when I punched a clock every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do more work
Literally.
at home than I do. Like, I do more work now. When I'm at work, you're gonna get paid either way sometimes. Like, that's how you feel about it. Like, I'm gonna get paid either way.
Yeah.
Like, and if I don't do it, somebody else will do it. I can
That's
take
true.
today. I'm checking out. I don't really feel. You can't do that when you're a parent. You never check out. You never get to check out when you're a parent. You never. You know what I'm saying? Like, when did you get to check out as a parent? Like, when you're
That's
there
the
with your
scariest
kids.
part. Truthfully, like, is that it's nonstop. At a job, you can have the worst day possible at a job, and you be like, I can't wait till 5 o'clock get here, because whatever happened today at 5 o'clock, I'm walking out. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to see nobody. I'm just walking out. You cannot do that with kids for Mother's Day, and I had to laugh.
You can't quiet quit.
At all,
as a
and
parent.
you be wanting to real bad. You are lying as a parent if you have not wanted to quiet quit and just like slowly close the door and sneak out and just be like, they won't see me leave. But you can't ever do that. It's always hard. Every single day it's hard. And the trickiest part about kids that really just cracks me up is that kids will spend 90 days straight driving you absolutely insane, like FBI level. You know, just, I don't want to say, I can't say the actual word, but terroristic activity, like for 90 days straight. And on day 91, they will come do the sweetest thing to you that you have ever seen or heard of in your life. And you be like, I could really be in love with this parenting thing. And 5 minutes later, they back on it. Like they back on that watch list that quick.
Yep. My baby make me laugh every day though. So my cup get replenished because he funny as hell. But
no,
my kids is hilarious.
Every day. My sister my daughter told my sister that she had a little mustache earlier, and it made my day. I was like, that's really
I like how you got that lined up.
That's really, I appreciate you for that. Like, thank you.
Hey man, kids is the funniest people on the planet. They always my babies make me laugh every day. Like every day. Definitely Sour Patch Kids. But
all of them are. But like, even, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave. We gonna have to do the benediction, because the other part that kind of tickled me a little bit, and I know this is not your decompression live, but we here.
This is the decompression part for sure.
When she said, well, you know, baby, I got skin in the game. I've been married, me and my husband together 7 years. And I'm looking at your face. I can see my own face. I don't need to see my face. I can see my own face. And I'm looking at your face, and I'm like, baby, oh, sweetheart, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this.
This the easy times.
Yeah, and my husband like audibly laughed out loud. I'm so glad I was on mute, because he laughed out loud from a good, healthy party play. Like 7 years, sugar. That's not long enough to have been through pretty much anything, like, truthfully. And it's sad that I have to preface this way, but it's not about like somebody cheating on you. It's let's take that off the table.
No,
not anything like that. But it get rough.
The communication breakdowns, the feeling ignored, not feeling less than, feeling like you ain't getting enough help, feel like you ain't getting enough support, always feeling like you gotta go behind somebody and tell them to do this and do that, and you never get time
transitioning from
alone.
no people in your house to a bunch of little people in your house is rough.
I mean, come on, man. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Nopal.
And them 7 years be just enough for like all of the trauma that you arrived to the relationship with to like reach or begin to peak in max friction. Like that's what they call like that 7-year itch. Is like y'all been dealing with each other for this time, trying to navigate these different ways of being that you had that rub against each other and that trigger all the crap that y'all dragged into this partnership with you. And you're just beginning to like feel like, I don't know if I could do this that much longer at 7 years, or beginning to just see like, I don't know how much we can further on in the way that we've been going. And it sounded like that woman was trying to convince us that that knowing that's starting to creep up, like, oh, I don't know, 20 hours and these kids and the scrubbing of the toilets. And
I love it though.
And like, it's like she was trying to convince us that it was okay.
She was like, I love it though. And I'm like, do you love that? Because
Like, okay, girl.
That's the thing. I be sitting there like, y'all don't. Why do y'all be trying to tell people that been through the shit? like King Loaf when he was trying to tell us about you got to work in your 20s, and I'm sitting there like, do you not know that we all have been through our 20s and we know that what you saying don't make no damn sense?
At all.
Like,
and you deeply regret that. The first thing you do when you get to a stable moment in your 30s and into your 40s is you think about how much time you spent working in your 20s, and you like, what was I thinking? I should have been outside. Sure, I might have been broker. Literally, yeah. I should have been outside playing when I was trying so hard to focus on making money. And now I'm looking at those years and I'm like, I can have fun now, but my knees make that funny noise when I try to have fun now. And when I had the needs to be able to have fun, I wasn't doing that. And you do look back on those years and you be like, what the heck was I thinking?
And the babies is here now and you can't leave them, and you can't, every vacation is with the babies on top of you. And you got like, you just like, damn, I wish I went more places. Damn, I had a low key little like, oh, it wasn't a mental breakdown at all. Maybe it was. But
it might have been.
It might have been. It didn't. It was bad. No, it was bad. I take that back. It was bad. But so I was already married, and then my first child was on the way, and a part of my mental breakdown was me trying to make a rap album. I mean, I was 29. I was probably 30. I was 30. I hadn't seriously rapped since I was like 23, 24 maybe. And I was like, man, I gotta make a rap album. Now, all right, hold on, wait, y'all. Before y'all start judging me too much, I actually was a professional. Like, that's what I did in my early 20s. I like made money off of rap, and I did a bunch of shows and stuff like that. And I recorded a bunch of music. So it's not like crazy, like that crazy. It wasn't like I never rapped and I was like, I got to make a rap album. You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't even like it was a hobby of mine. It was literally like my job for years. And then I quit it. And then I was like, but you know, it's one of those things where it's kind of like always in the back of your head, where you're like, especially as an artist, you know that it's things that you have said to yourself that you were gonna do, and then one day you go, okay, I'm gonna write my book now, you know, whatever it is, and then it take on this like tall. And it was one of those moments, right? So I had music and I had beats and I did all of this stuff. And yeah, I recorded a few songs and then it went away, because who the hell has enough freaking energy and like time to record an album? Like, that shit is tough, especially if you want to do it to the level that I felt. I was like, I got to do what I used to do. So I'm not half-assing it. I got to really record. I gave up quickly. But like, it was stuff like that. Like, and I was like, right before, I was like, man, we should have traveled, you know, like we never went out of the country together, like all of these things. And it's just like, you just get anxious because you're having a child. And then, you know, and then you start thinking like, oh, well, I'm gonna, like, after the kid gets here, then we can go out the country, and like just telling yourself all types of bullshit. You know what I mean? And like, it's just coping at that point. And yeah, none of it happened. I don't regret it at all now, but there was definitely a time when I had that anxiety where I felt like my life was like not over, but it was going to drastically change, and it did. But you know, it better or worse or whatever it did. I can't even say it changed for the worse. It just changed. You know what I mean? A lot of it got better for the most part, but really it was a lot of it. The reason why it changed was because of the unknown part, and then once the unknown part became known to me, the anxiety went away. You know what I mean? So I guess it did get better in that regard. It was like I just didn't know, like, oh man, it's gonna be like this, and then I got to this, and it was like, oh, that's not bad. Like, oh, that, like, damn, you built that shit up to be like Goliath, and it was like nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it was a garden gnome. You know, so it was a lot of that going on, and now though, I don't. When I think back on those, you know, when I think back prior to having kids, like early 20s and all that stuff, like, I don't necessarily wish I would have done much different. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you know, whatever I did, it got me to the place I got to, and I'm happy now. You know, I'm in a good place now. I'm happier now. I'm not all depressed and anxious all the time, and you know, all that stuff. So it feels better, but lying to myself about it in my 20s wouldn't have helped. I'm glad I'm not the King Loaf of the world and being like, yeah, man, you know, you get rich now so you can retire in your 30s. Like, I never had that notion. Like, I am 42. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to work until I'm dead. Like, I have no expectations of retiring. I don't. Like,
you gotta embrace that part, you know.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I'm getting ahead of it. I'm getting ahead of it early, BPG. I'm getting ahead of it early. I don't want to. I would rather like believe this than believe the other thing, and then, you know what I mean. And then like, you know, like then I never retire, and then it's like I'm depressed because I never, probably not ever retiring. Exactly, boss. I'll change my job. You know what I mean? Like I'll have a different career or something like that, but I don't think I'll ever retire. Like I don't see it happening for me. Pretty sure I'm gonna work until then.
I wouldn't see myself retiring, but I think you know for what it is I do, I don't think that there is a retirement plan. Like you either keep creating or you don't. Like that's what it and it's funny that you even said that because the project that I'm working on now, the documentary, that idea came to me 10 years ago. I tried to do that thing 5 times, 5 different times, 5 different crews, 5 different occasions. And every single time, like, it would falter. And it did get to a point where I was like, I'm losing my mind because I keep trying to do this thing and it's not working. And I don't know why it's not working, but it's just not. And it as an artist, you revisit those moments back and forth. And then you tell yourself, oh, if I had did it when I was younger, or if I had did it this way, or if I had, you know, I can do it now because I got funds to back myself and blah, blah, blah. And the thing is like, as a person, you have to understand that things happen in the time that they happen. I genuinely believe that you probably will be able to retire by the time you're 50. I think that people will find their niche how they find it. I think that you figured out a lane with TikTok that a lot of people are pissed off about. They are pissed.
It's really
about
interesting
the lane
how mad
that you
people
found
get.
in TikTok. And it's navigating to different spaces. It's going to YouTube and Discord and all these different places. Instagram, and it's spreading, and I think that it pisses people off because they have been trying to figure out the TikTok algorithm and the niche, and they can't figure it out, and I think that makes them angry and it makes them lash out. But I think that that's the part, like, you do have to have some faith in like doing things for the right reason, and that it's just gonna work out that way. So when I picked up this project for the last time, and I told myself when I started, I said, every favor I've ever done, because I've been on a lot of sets where I have worked for people for free. I don't have no issue with working for free because I do work that I see the value in. So I'm never doing it for free. I'm getting something out of it. But I started calling in favors, and I'm like, okay, I need this person for this, and I need that person for this, and I need this person for this. And when I tell you, every single person I messaged, every single person I inboxed kept saying yes, to the point where I contacted a friend who was a lawyer, and she said, it's fine, I'll be your lawyer, just give me a producer credit. I'm like, okay, of course. So she said, I got your back. I told her, I was like, I need you to start drawing up contracts because these people are saying yes, and I didn't expect for them to say yes. Like I was just inboxing. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna slide in this person's inbox. I don't know them. They have, 150,000 followers, and they've, won Emmys and all kind of stuff. Surely they're not gonna message me back. And they started messaging me back.
Shit.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know what the next step is because I really just thought that you were gonna say no. But like that's a part of the creative process, and that's a part of, it's essentially a part of the story. And like I said before, and this is, this was not meant to be like a motivational speech or encouragement, but it is that. I think that you have figured out your niche, and I think that it will grow because the sincerity is there and the mindfulness of other people is there. So it'll just continue to grow. And as opposed to being a vulture and wanting to do this because, I can pull numbers and, I can have 1,000 people, 1,800 people in my live for 5 or 6 hours. It's nothing, it's nothing. We getting money out here. It's not that. The same public that we get when it's 300 something people in here is the same one that you get when it's 1,200 something people in here. People will flock to that. People will retire you because of that, because they know consistency is the biggest key. Like, people want to see consistency. They want to see authenticity. There's a reason why you're going to see a lot of these big creators fall off. They don't want to be authentically themselves because they are terrified of what other people will think of them.
React to them, yeah.
And
a lot of people are afraid of that, BPG. A lot of people.
Terrified. This is why you haven't been moxed yet.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't been moxed yet. I've been here for, like I said, four years at this point. And of course, I don't want anybody putting my business out there. I think that's weird and intrusive. But I think that what you see, if you go to my Facebook, if you go to my Instagram and you hunt me down, you're not going to see nothing different. You're going to see my Facebook friends irritated because all I talk about is social justice and all of this other stuff.
Me too. That's
if you
all
go
I
to my Instagram.
That's all y'all go to my Instagram. It's all that shit for 7 years. It's just fucking a bunch of social justice, random funny memes, social justice, funny meme, Kobe Bryant highlights.
Like, we follow each other on IG. There's nothing different that you gonna see on IG that's gonna be like, wait a minute, that's BPG? Well, she don't talk like that on TikTok. Like, that's weird. That's not gonna be the experience that, you have of me. Of course, there are private parts of my life that ain't nobody obligated to. But the thing, like the character of me is always going to be the same, whether you meet me in person, whether you meet me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. That's going to be what you get. And I think that that's the reason why people flock to you and why it pisses other people off.
They do. I agree with that. I've had that feeling for a while, but that's my saying that I stole. It ain't no mystery in my history. I'm gonna use that for. I'll be like, it ain't no. Y'all not gonna find. It ain't like you gonna dig up something and be like, oh, he's completely different. Like, it ain't gonna happen, bro. Like, y'all done.
It's just gonna be new to you.
It's gonna be new to you, but it's gonna be the same. Like, everybody know what it is already. So, how many people have I had in here? How many people have I? How many times y'all done talked to somebody that knew me in real life? But it's the same shit over and over and over again. So I don't be knowing like what like I told y'all this before, but I really and truly, I looked at this like how when Andre 3000 talked about rapping and he said that when he found out that everybody didn't write their own raps, he was shocked. He couldn't believe it because he's like, I take this shit seriously. This is me. He just assumed because also Big Boy, everybody around him did that, by the way. It wasn't just him. And that's how I am with like you like that and Shan like that. Like all my friends, all my peoples is like that. Like we all the same. Like we talk off like everybody's the same shit. So I be thinking I just thought everybody was like that. And then like you start to see it's like, oh no, everybody don't write their own shit. Some people are Drake. Some people are.
They got ghostwriters
They got ghostwriters. A lot of people got ghostwriters.
Their whole personality.
I didn't know. I had no idea. I had no clue. And then I started
to masculinity, femininity shit too, because they've constructed their whole like identity around this idea of masculinity and femininity, and it's not an internally constructed identity of themselves. And people who are internally constructing their own identities are like, wait a minute, I don't understand how you are a whole and complete person. How come you don't fit inside this box of masculinity and or femininity that can contain you and that I can understand and consume? And that means that I don't have to be real with you either. We can both relate to each other on this very superficial, surface, and unreal
performative
performative way. And I also can perform this thing instead of actually getting to know who I am and like unpacking and deconstructing the parts of my identity that I don't like. I can just put a veneer over of femininity or masculinity on my bullshit ass personality.
And they love the people that allow them to perform. Like those are the people that gravitate towards each other. And that's also what I'm saying, like shit that I just noticed. I'm just like, oh, that's another thing that they don't like. Because when I get in those spaces and I don't be allowing you to perform, like y'all done seen it many a time. Somebody come up here and lie and I'll be like, well, that's a lie. Like that's not who you are. Like you're not, you know what I mean? Like why you up here acting fake tough? The dude who came in here the other day and said he was a lawyer, why? How many times has he been alive and told people he was a lawyer? I'm sure. That wasn't the first time he said that.
The issue is the inauthenticity. When they're afraid that everybody's going to find out that all their best songs are covers, right? Because they are 100% that, right? And then even the cover is a cover of a cover, right? Because like all of them trying to be KS, all of them trying to be these new guys and everything like that. Basic out there trying to be the Navy.
I don't know what he's trying to be, Vanity. You tell me what he's trying to be.
He's trying to be Jordan Peterson.
Oh.
That is the pseudo intellectual thing and everything.
Yeah.
It's like I recognize the archetypes, I recognize the characters and everything like that, but even the ones that they're imitating are imitations.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, you just keep watering down the Kool-Aid to just like a sadder and sadder version. Now we've got like, this lukewarm pink liquid, but they're not doing what needs to be done. And the reason why they have to be so hyperbolic and everything like that is because they know they know the talking points aren't their talking points. They know they snatched it, and they dread for in my circle, I know someone whose ideas and thoughts and everything have been so prolific. A lot of what you see on TikTok today, like with women, deconstructing, like their internal misogyny and everything like that. A lot of what you're seeing, like, are her words. And every now and then I will clock somebody using that, and I'll say, "Are you, a student or associate of so and so?" And like that block comes so hard and fast.
Oh, for real? Like they be like, "Oh shit, they're on to me."
Yeah, and and then people start inboxing me, "Who's the person that you mentioned?" Because now they realize it's like, oh, like even like when you were you had that talk with Princella and everything like that. I was like, I know where you got a lot of this from.
Oh, Princella, yeah. She definitely a grifter.
And
it was just like bad.
Reverse Umar or something.
Yeah, pretty much. I just thought about something too, because you see the truth come out as soon as she got her heart broken. She started talking about women the same way men talk about women. Like as soon as she got her heart broken, it was like y'all. They're like these B words. And I was like, wait, I thought women was the divine and all that. Where did all that go? Why are you saying like these men was right about y'all this whole time? That was basically what she said in that when I listened to her talk to Jazzy. She basically said these men are right about y'all. Like that's what I got from. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she almost said that verbatim. She was like, "I'm starting to
choose better."
Yeah, it was exactly. She was like, "Yeah, these men, they been right about us, right about y'all." She was saying y'all, by the way, not us. Y'all about this whole time because women. And I was like, interesting. This is what I always thought she was like. But hey, whatever. I had an interesting comment recently. I should have put it on my I wish I had it. Screenshotted it. I didn't care. But so I made a video. I did a reaction video to that white German lady that's like racist. And I did another video of hers recently where I broke her down with Anton Daniels and those black idiot twin dudes. And whatever in that video I was talking about how she's racist and how black men will like excuse racism as long as they get the punch down on black women. Blah blah blah. And then in this other video, that the newest video that's going viral with that lady, she was like saying like American women, and then she said like she said American men are coveted in Germany, especially black men, because there's not many black men in Germany or something to that effect. And in the video, I might have alluded to that, like she was saying like American women, yada yada yada, because that's what she was saying in the video. She was literally saying American women, like, oh, you know how she does. And then some woman like commented and was like, oh, what she said? She was like, oh, your wife is white. No, she was like, don't all lives matter this or something like that. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I didn't respond to her. I just read the message. She was like, you're like all lives mattering this. She's targeting black women. And I was like, yeah, that's why I made a whole 40-minute video talking about how she's racist and how black men will cozy up to racists just to punch down on black women. But in this particular video, I just repeated what she said, which was American women. And then she like pit and was like, your wife is white and you shouldn't talk on black women. I was just like, this is such a weird, like, what is going on? Why do y'all, what's happening here? What's happening here? I don't understand how
really had working.
We got to this point from this video, of me saying that this woman, and in the video I was just saying how wrong she was, and like, what makes American men so special, and all that stuff. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I didn't understand, but it's just like people often just look for things to like not believe you, if that makes sense. They just, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't mind, like, that comes with the territory. Don't get me wrong. Like, I totally, like, y'all know, like I'm built for that. That shit don't mean nothing to me. But it's just funny how when it happens though, it still catches me off guard sometimes. Like I expect it from certain people, but from her, I was just like, or from that type of, I was just like, why? Like what was the purpose in saying that? And like I don't all live matter. I don't do that to anything. like of all people to make that, like, you know what I'm saying, to make that accusation, I'm like, me all I never do that. Like I don't do that so much that people consider it a problem. I don't think you guys understand how much that's what people are always, that's what all these men are trying to get me to do. That's the whole battle. They're trying to get me to all lives matter, these issues, and my whole thing is like, absolutely not. It's like this. Like it is black and white when it comes to this. Right? And they want me to see it as like it's like, oh, it goes both ways and yada yada. And I'm like, it absolutely doesn't go both ways. It's absolutely one way. It's slanted one way, 1,000%. Same thing with old boy earlier. Oh, what about a misandrist? What about a misandrist? What about her? How does that affect your life? What percentage of women don't like men, hate men? Like 2% of women, maybe? I am shocked. I'm shocked at how few women have a disdain for me. I'm shocked after, having the veil removed. Like it's literally shocking to me how much women still be like rocking with men. Like not trying to, I know somebody gonna click this up and act like I'm trying to tell women not to rock with men. But how my male brain works, I would hate men. I'm sorry. I would have a disdain for men if I was a just normal woman, not even an extreme version of a woman, just like a normal woman. Because as a man, talking to men from this position, I have a disdain for men at times. As a group, like I get frustrated with men. I already told you guys, like that it comes in waves. It's not always there, but it definitely, like, I get to a point to where I'm like, these God damn, these, like I get just like that too. The same way, like that's how it is. If you come at it from that position as a collective, exactly, Simon. I'm saying as a collective. If you are talking from these positions, and then you're talking to the group that is like just like adamantly opposed to what you're saying, you will eventually start to feel like as a group, ugh. That's just how you go, man or woman. I'm telling you, I know men don't understand this about this because they've never tried this before. I am telling you, the same way, YT people who unpack their racism feel like that about YT people. Y'all ever talk to a YT person that like that's actively unpacking their racism, and they be like, yeah, white people. Like they sound like it's the same thing. Like why? Because why wouldn't it be like that? Once you understand it from that way, it's not like a natural thing. Like I'm not in a club or nothing like that. I'm talking about men. The social concept of a man is like this, and that concept is terrible. It's abysmal. Like men are freaking as a whole. It's terrible. Like we really are like inept. It's really bad. We are deficient. Not that we lack. All these things. You can't, once you see it, you can't unsee it, man. You can't turn that off. And then the more you talk to men consistently, you're like, damn. Wow, another one. Then you look at society and you're like, damn, look at society. Look how wow, look at, what conclusion do you want me to come to? Where do you expect me to go? The only thing that separates me from women in this particular case is I am not in a relationship with them. That's it. I don't deal with men on a romantic level. Right? That's it. Everything else, same shit. As a man, I'm like, yeah, this shit is exhausting. Like you guys are just, ugh. Y'all are, it's terrible. It's tough. Go ahead, BBG.
But women have always, you know what, and bear with me on this take. Women don't have non-romantic relationships with men. Fathers, uncles, cousins, like we are always on guard, and I think that we live in a constant reality that is a reflection of that it's not shocking to us because that's the only place that we live. Because when you think about, like, I saw a video the other day and people just thought it was so cute and so, sweet and so touching, where a man was giving his daughter a ring. He said a father should be the first man to give a girl a ring.
Ugh.
But here's the kicker. She was in, you know how you have the baby and they put him in the little bassinet next to the bed?
Yeah.
She was in that.
Oh, she's a little baby?
She was a brand new baby, a newborn.
That's stupid. That's like getting your baby baptized. Like they don't.
It was a newborn baby.
You doing that for you?
With a full, and I mean like a wedding band with like a diamond in it. It was obviously to scale, but like that was the premise was, you know, that she belongs to him first because he put it on her ring finger, which was, the whole thing was just so weird. But I also watched a video on Instagram that actually a friend of mine posted, and I thought it was very interesting.
Who was liking that video?
It had a whole lot of, like, it had like 500K. Like, you know, Facebook be a different animal.
Facebook a different. It's a different demographic of people on Facebook.
Child. Yeah. Facebook, you know, because that be all your old relatives, and
it's the older millennial, Gen X and up on there.
Yeah, every ism you can think of, they perpetuate. But
they love that shit on there
for real. And I thought it was so gross. But yeah,
they BPG. They on Facebook right now arguing about on my timeline, on my homies arguing about Kamala and Trump.
Because this is it's like Christmas in July. Like every time Donald Trump starts coming up, you start finding out how many more people you know that thinks that he makes sense.
Yeah.
Me and my husband watched a dude yesterday that popped up on his timeline. He was talking about Project 2025 and how helpful it'll be to the community because he doesn't believe in unaliving babies and all kind of stuff. And we both looking at, and he looking, you know, going to the page like, who is this? I've been friends with this person the whole time. That is always going to happen on Facebook. Facebook
is the place for you won't see that on Insta, you won't see that on TikTok, but on Facebook for some reason. You might see it on Twitter too. You might see it on Twitter or on X. You might see it on X. But old people don't be on X that often. But you know what I'm saying. But you do be just seeing interesting tweets. You do be seeing you see interesting tweets on X. That's for sure. I didn't see some wild shit on X.
I deleted 830
politics.
Wait, what'd you say, Kate?
I said I deleted 835 friends off of Facebook.
Why? Just get rid of your Facebook.
Because of that shit, that type of shit. Like I just realized, like if we weren't actively interacting, if I haven't, you know, interacted with you in a year, it's kind of like clothes. I'm not gonna wear it.
Just get rid of you, huh?
So I, in a lot of just nosy family members, like dramaed out people posting fights and stuff, I deleted them to all that.
Facebook don't make me laugh, and that's why I don't really be on there because it's not funny. And I only
I make people laugh on Facebook. I'm that person on Facebook.
You make people laugh, okay? I be on Facebook for like I can't be on I can't do social media that often. Like that's why people send me messages. I got on all my platforms. I got 100 messages. Like I don't even be responding. I can't do it. It's too much. I'm overwhelmed at this point. But when I just randomly go to Facebook, like sometimes because I have my Facebook page, so I go on there and I was scrolling, and it was like the last thing I saw was an argument between my friend who was my age and my friend's mother, and they was arguing about Trump and Kamala. And my homeboy he's pro-Trump. He been pro-Trump since Trump started. He was one of the first people I saw with the MAGA hats selling them down at the stadium. Like he was that dude. And I thought it was a joke. I remember when I first saw I was like, this dude just trying to make money. And nope, he really is. And then I found out he was like a hotep and a right wing. I was like, oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. But fast forward, then he's arguing with my friend's mom, who was like damn near 80. She's like 70-something years old. And he's like arguing with her about Trump and Biden, or Trump and Kamala, and they're sending each other like articles and like going back and forth. And mind you, that was the same that was the last conversation I saw on Facebook 2 years ago, the last time I was on Facebook. Like, it's the same shit. I'm like, what? It wasn't Kamala, but it was whoever. It was Biden. It was whoever was running at the time. I'm like, what in the hell are y'all doing? Like, how do y'all even find entertainment on Facebook? Where's the entertainment on Facebook? Y'all let me know. Where is it?
I ain't even gonna hold you. The last big fight I seen, my cousin outed her husband / baby daddy, talking about she was hunching him with a dildo and everything. Like she
On
went,
Facebook?
yes, she
That
went
is where you would
live.
see that at
She
too.
posted statuses. She cussed his mama out, his sister, everybody, baby. That tea was hot, baby. I still got the screen record, baby.
I believe that. That is a Facebook
That shit was
argument.
giving Maury.
I feel like we need that Franklin sound. The wow.
Facebook
The
definitely a place like that.
wow.
Facebook is the place for that. Yeah, that's true. My
That
cousin.
shit loving basketball on Facebook. That shit every day on Facebook is the wildest reality. That shit is love. What's it? Love in Huntsville. What's the fucking 90 Day
My
Fiance?
cousin out of the pastor she was sleeping with for like 8 years or something like that.
On Facebook. That's what
I'm looking at the post, like, I inboxed her like, hey, I think your page been hacked. She was like, no, it ain't been hacked. I ain't even reply. I was like, oh, okay. Well, all right. I called
Charles
my mama back like, girl, it's not a drill.
They said Charles on Franklin Live. Charles likes to get yelled at.
He do.
He like that shit. And so if y'all can go yell at him if you want to.
I legit think he is unwell. Like, seriously and truly.
You think?
Like, clinically unwell.
Yeah. He did get his wig. He got it cut and kind of shaped to his head a little bit, so it looked a little bit better.
Hilarious.
No, last night I saw it. It looked a little bit better.
I know you fucking lying.
I'm dead serious. Now he look like he sing Vayamos. Let the rhythm take you over, Vayamos. That's his shit. Look very Ricky Martin-ish. Yo te quiero, my burrito.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Gonna live this life forever, Vayamos.
But wait, y'all, not for nothing. Okay, part 2 of the story. So she said that she went when he was to the jail. They used to do they do a chain gang, and apparently she masked up and she was in the woods, and they met up in the woods, and she was hunching him in the woods with the thing, and she said that's why you like running back and forth to jail, because you got a girlfriend. Bruh, it was diabolical. Then, like 2 days later, she get on there and talk about how, a grown woman takes accountability, and I not only embarrass myself, but I embarrass my husband, and blah blah blah. And he in the comments like, you live and you learn, babe.
Are they on drugs? That sound like some alcoholic fights, man. What is going on? They be sober having these arguments, or they be drunk?
Oh, yes.
Ain't no way they sober having these fights.
That's ruthless. Like like my cousin, like she don't fuck off, and yeah, man, that shit.
You getting blocked. You do that shit to me, you getting blocked.
I can't unsee it, man.
Blocked. And I might sue. Something crazy might. You know how these TikTok dudes be threatening lawyers? Nah, I'm blocking.
But the reason why I'm whispering is because
your mama there.
Like literally it ended up on the news. Like it was like masked men in the woods at such and such prison. And she's like, yeah, y'all heard about the masked men. That was me out there. I was one of them out there.
He was saying that?
Yeah, that's what she said when she was on the live.
So he was out there hunching men in the woods?
She came.
No, she was hunching him from behind.
She came with
a mask, and they thought it was a mask.
So she was doing the bending.
I'm catching this.
She was doing the bending, and apparently he liked that.
She was doing the bending. Nah, man.
She said, yeah. I fucked you with that dildo and you liked it. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Calm down a little bit.
I'm whispering. TikTok.
Hold on. We still in TikTok. This still a chat. This is a children's app. Hold on, man. She was doing the bending.
F1, yeah. And she say he like it, And she's like, and you want to go out here like it and cheat on me and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, man.
But wait, the problem I got is why she had to bust him out like that though. That's intimate, man.
But it was him in the comments saying, "You live and you learn, babe. Now it's only up from here. We're a power couple." And blah,
power
blah, blah.
couple. He an ex-con, right?
Yeah,
that explains it.
Evidently he a power bottom.
He a candy boy.
Yeah.
Wait. What's better is he a candy boy and she a CNA. They say that's the ultimate power couple.
That is. They gonna get a Hellcat if they don't got one already. They definitely on their way. Damn, man. Hey, you know what? Red and green pill. You live and you learn. Come on. That's what Jay told us. That's crazy, man. Good for them though. If you can bounce back from that, they better people than me. Cause when I tell you, forgiveness is never in sight if you do that shit to me. Forgiveness is off the table.
But why she posted that meme the other day, you know, the one where the dude and the girl laid up in the bed, she got on her bonnet, and she's like, me and my man, after we done fought and called the police and cussed our family out.
Break up. Break up, dude. Break up. Stop. That's stupid. Just break up. They don't even... Why? Why do people do that shit? Just leave. God damn, bro. But it makes sense though, cause he a convict. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like they be desperate, man. They be desperate. So I get it, but I don't understand that for her. She can do bad all by herself. So that man was cheating on her. Was he cheating on her with a man or a woman?
He was cheating on her with a girl that is known to have that packet. Oh, high five. That's what you can call it. High five.
See, this is where Tyler Perry get all his movie plots from. It's like reading shit like this on Facebook.
Hold on. He
just put that in the Discord because I can't figure that kind of stuff out.
I think are you saying
the Roman
a trans woman?
So high five. So
a trans woman?
No. It's a
oh, the HIV.
She has high five, and she has had it since
the HIV.
She was like 19 or 20, and there's a video of her going down on him and everything like that was posted on Facebook because she posted it.
So he don't got it. Did he get tested yet? Do we know?
I don't know. And for the life of me, I can't understand why she doesn't understand that he exposed her. But she was saying, no, she don't have it and he don't have it and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if it's because that person is undetectable or, no, because I'm pretty sure since she's had it since she was 18 or 19, she's probably undetectable. If she take her meds like she's supposed to, if you undetectable, it's a
chance you don't spread it to nobody.
You can't spread it, yeah. But yeah, like this is stuff she's known. Like they were fighting when she had just had a C-section. Like 5 days after her C-section, she out there fighting him. Like that's the kind of shit I see on Facebook.
Hey, y'all be safe out here in these streets. K Facebook, her Facebook won. She got the most ghetto Facebook I ever heard because that was crazy.
No, Kay ain't got it. Cause I'm in Detroit, baby. Hold on, I got my new buffs. I'm gonna put them on. I can't turn my camera on because I look a mess. But yeah, we had a thing called Love and Hip Hop Chrysler because everybody in Detroit only works two places: the call center or the plant. That's it. There are no other jobs. If they say they work someplace else, they lying. And it was a girl I was babysitting for her. And I told my husband, I said, babe, something fishy going on because every time I watch these kids, like the time that she picks them up, it gets later and later and later. And I'm like, I don't mind because they're not bad kids, but like it's getting strange. So our church does like fast every quarter. So we went on our little fast or whatever. I come back to Facebook and I see this really long post because I had told him, I was like, some off. I don't know what it is. I'm not comfortable watching the kids because I feel like something fishy going on. And I promise you, I said this and maybe 2-3 weeks go by. I log on to Facebook and I see this long thread with like 200-300 comments on it. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Come to find out, that lady was sleeping with her coworker at the plant, and her husband, her brother-in-law, and her sister-in-law called her out on Facebook. They started posting pictures. They started posting videos. They started posting timestamps. They was talking about, you know, who she was with. Then people at the plant started chiming in. So all of her coworkers started chiming in the comments, talking about when they was going to this place and this hotel and all. And I'm just sitting here the whole time, of course, reading through all the comments because, you know, yeah, I'm a classy lady, but who gonna pass up on tea like that?
I'm definitely reading that. I would have got to the bottom of that shit.
It went on for days, like literally days. Nah, granted, that doesn't beat hunching your husband with a, you know.
Nah, that's crazy.
In the woods. Yeah. But it was the craziest part to me was, and I had told my husband, I was like, see, this is why when Charles was talking about women can't read minds and they ain't got no intuition, sir. If I really thought about that, like, this is, you know, welcome to Facebook, Love and Hip Hop Chrysler. But I thought about it like I would have got caught up in that mess because whole time I'm watching this lady kids and I'm thinking she, you know, trying to get her a few extra hours in, and she's married to you know, a pastor, like she's married to a preacher. So of course that was a huge thing.
That was the one that busted her out?
No, these are two different people.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn.
No, this was years ago. But
you know preacher wives be creeping.
Some of them do, and some of them need to. Some of them need to.
Some of them need. Them the only two options. Some of them do, and some of them need to. So that's 100% right there.
Or you need to, because it'd be too many pastors that be having that lady kids be in the back, and she got extra kids sitting on the pew with her, and everybody got different mamas.
Oh no, the preachers be creeping. I told y'all when I was at church, when I was in church. Way back when, the pastor of my church got moved because he had committed adultery in the other church. Cause Seventh-day Adventists, they church is kind of like all connected from what I understand.
Yeah, they are.
So they would just move pastors around. So my pastor got busted for cheating with somebody in the congregation. The pastor of the church that he moved to got caught cheating around the same time. So they just swapped them. So I get to the church. Pastor, I never get his name. His name was Ira Lake. He was from Chicago. Ira Lake from Chicago. Wife was like the most homely, feminine, submissive woman, doormat you ever wanted to meet. Like, I never heard her talk above a whisper or look anybody in their eye. So, and she wore them long Pentecostal skirts all the time. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever, you know, whatever. Long story short, the woman that cheated with the pastor was still at our church. She had a baby. She got pregnant by the pastor. Ira gets to the church, cheats with the same woman.
She had that fire.
Was she fine? Yes. Yeah. I'm not saying I don't
Wait. The same lady?
The same lady.
I'm screaming.
Fine, the same lady. Far, but I promise you, she had something. In the words of my very vulgar mama, that lady could suck the peanuts out of Snickers and leave the bar intact. Okay.
Yeah, it was something like that.
That was. That's
fine as hell. She was fine as hell. That Jezebel spirit is crazy. Who was the Jezebel? Hold on, but who was the Jezebel though?
No, she wasn't a Jezebel because Jezebel was a leader. She had a Rahab spirit. Rahab.
Sound more like it.
Was busting it wide open.
Cause I was gonna say, cause who was the Jezebel in this case? Cause I'm looking at Pastor Lake. Like Pastor Lake might be the Jezebel in this one, cause he a little bit. He was the one that he was just wherever it was. That's where he was gonna be. Wherever them women was, that's where he was gonna be. And
maybe he was like James. Remember James, like how he be bashing 304s, but then paying for X. James, that was on here yesterday. James looked like he got on a button-up church shirt.
He was paying for the therapist.
What?
Not the
James
therapist.
came up here and said that he said if your woman not giving you smacks, you go pay for a therapist. And he kept saying therapist so much.
James Spirit.
Like, he was like, are you actually going to a therapist? Or like, what do you mean? He was like, you go get you the little therapist, and now they can charge whatever they want, and they'll help you out.
Damn. Mm-hmm. That boy, you got to say loose teeth. That's odd. If you say James with the loose teeth, then I'll know.
I see your affair, and I raised you. Old girl had a job at the health department and outed everybody in my town that had high five. Oh. It lost her job, but didn't care before she posted them on Facebook.
When you willing to lose your job over tea, you are top level, presidential level.
Wait, she committed a HIPAA violation?
Mm-hmm. Yep, on God.
Mm-hmm. On Facebook.
On Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey man, y'all different. Y'all built different. It's people out here that's built different. I don't got that in me. Mm-hmm. My level with the pettiness, I'm not that petty. I realize that about myself. I always thought I'm not a real petty dude like that. I don't got the energy. I don't know what it is. I think it's my ADHD. Like I don't care enough. like I don't got the attention span to like go that deep. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna give up like a third of the way through. Like I ain't about to do all of this. Yeah. I ain't got the time.
The way my brain set up, I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna be setting somebody up, and it's not to say that I won't go low. Like I will, but in the process of setting somebody up, I'm gonna completely forget what I'm doing. And by the time I look up, I'm sitting in the bed watching Grays eating snacks, and then forgot I'm supposed to be setting somebody.
Because I also don't never be that mad about nothing. So
never.
That's another problem with me. Like I don't really care enough about anything. Lady Q said, "Not love and HIPAA."
It ain't never gonna get that deep. Like it ain't never gonna get that deep. And like, people on TikTok, they try to push your buttons like that. Like they try to do stuff to kind of get under your skin. But like, what are you gonna say to me? Like, you gonna go for the same things? You gonna say I'm broke? I've been knew that. I've been told you that. Okay, that's fine. You gonna say that I'm unattractive? Who cares? I think I'm fine. I love looking at me. I don't need you to think I'm fine as long as the nigga I'm sleeping with thinks I'm fine. Like, who cares?
Somebody like it.
That's it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, what difference does that make for me that you think I'm fine, random person on TikTok? Like, I don't know what that's ever supposed to mean.
Old girl say my friend got her ex-boyfriend's girlfriend deported. Countess Devon.
Where Countess at? She was in here earlier. Countess, I told you to come up. You was in the queue.
Not deported.
She said deported.
She said her friend got her ex-boyfriend's girlfriend deported. So the girlfriend got deported.
I respect that.
I don't. That's terrible. What the hell? What the hell? Who does that? Y'all crazy, man. Y'all some real haters. I don't got that much hate.
Because it's one thing to like get him deported and like, yeah, you'll get the get back, but you'll never actually see him like feel that hurt and that pain. Like, I kind of want to run into you at the grocery store and act like I didn't know what happened. Like,
true.
What?
Hey, that's the equivalent of like dating like a person that sell candy and then snitching and then telling the police on them. That's that type of shit. I don't know if I rock with that. I don't know if I rock with that type of shit. That shit front. I don't know, man.
No candy dealers anyway.
You said what?
ACAB, the deportation ACAB too.
Mm-hmm. That too, right? Because you just but I know people that do stuff like that. Like I'm like, why would you? You was first of all when y'all was going to Vegas every other weekend, and he was buying you Jimmy Choos and shit. You was cool with it. Now you want to rat him out? I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't care what that man did. But hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta go eat dinner. This was fun. Haven't had one of these types of lives in a long time.
Oh Jesus!
What happened? What was that?
No, not sneezed.
Oh, you sneezed. Okay. Hey, I appreciate y'all. One love, one thug. One love, one thug, man. Like I said, send me the if y'all could join the Discord. Where the hell was that? Y'all join the Discord. Send me those clips of these red pill, this red pill shit. I appreciate you. I can't have my eyes and ears everywhere. I be doing stuff. I be working when they be yapping. I be working. You know what I'm saying? What up, Silverback? Yeah, man. Y'all know what it is. So just go on and help your boy out. When they be saying that wild shit, screen record it. Come to the what's that app called? The Discord. Drop it off in there. If you can't do that, let me know. The link isn't working. Let me holler at HR for you. Let me holler at Lux. She'll walk us through it. I don't know why it be working for some and not working for the rest of y'all, but hey, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming up. It's dinner time for your boy, man. What y'all about to get into? Bang the Cash App one time. Keep the live alive. Were you not entertained? I had a great time. I think that shit was hilarious. Thanks for the stories. I didn't expect all of that. I was ready to end the live an hour ago when my people started talking and we started having a good time. So here we are. I still got work to do. Shout out to the best mods in the business. Shout out to all the old subs, all the new subs, everybody that support the live. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for the galaxy, K. Appreciate the galaxy. Haka food to a rock. You was cooking dinner? Y'all good. Hey, BPG, tomorrow your birthday. We doing, oh damn, I'm gonna be gone. I might get on early. If you on, let's get on early. Let's do a gift battle with BPG. Let's get BPG some gifts tomorrow. We'll be on tomorrow. Tomorrow my vacation. I gotta go on vacation. I get to go on vacation. I gotta go. I get to go on vacation tomorrow with my family. It's our last one for the summertime. Yeah, so that's gonna be lit. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. How old you turning, BPG? $35. Damn. I knew how old she was turning. I just wanted her to tell me so I could tell her damn. Nah, man. BPG knows she gonna catch them strays. She already know. She knows I owe her a few of them. That's just one. She got me. I'm down like 15 of those. So I'm gonna give her the one. She gonna get one of them. Oh my God. You know you gonna get one or two. Mm-hmm. She already know. Oh man. That was funny.